Uh,
I care.
Hello?
Hello.
Yo.
I'm going to.
Oh, we're live.
There we go. We are live. If I'm a
Thank you.
little
Thank
quieter
you.
than everyone else, I may need to bump my gain. Oh, my mic's way from my mouth. That's why.
You sound
There
like
we
a
go.
small, tiny person. Thank you.
There we go. I realized putting a mic closer to my mouth normally helps.
Yo, so
Yeah?
you watched the J2 Cents video too? Who would have thought?
Who's got a solder gun?
Yeah, there we go. So, welcome to the NASA 2020 game selection stream. Right now I've got open we took all the game submissions and put them into a Google Sheet here. We have it sorted a few different ways, just to make it easier for us to kind of follow through. But what we're going to end up doing is we're probably going to end up taking about 3 passes through this. Sorry, excuse me. 3 passes through this list. Pass number 1, we're going to go through all the submissions by game, and if there's any game that has multiple categories submitted, we're going to narrow it down to one category. After that, we're going to switch to sorting by runner, and of all the games that are still in, if runners have a ton of run submissions, we're going to cut it down to about 2 to 3 runs max per person. Once we've done that cut, we'll then kind of do a final set of cuts to hit the estimate. Now, we've calculated we need over 2 weekends about 110 hours of content, assuming we started about noon on Friday and ended about 7 p.m. on Sunday, both weekends. We can kind of push that up a little if we realize we have a little more content, but we're not necessarily sticking to that hard, 110. It's around there is what we're looking for. Currently, I think submission-wise, I calculated we have about 170 hours of content, so we're going to need to make about 60 hours worth of cuts. So that's kind of what we're in the process to do today. Sound good to
Yeah,
everyone else?
I want to point out that I think this is the most amount of submissions we've had since NASA 1.
Yeah, I think that's true. It definitely, I think, being online helps. It allows a much larger variety of people to submit compared to, when we do it in person, it's kind of limited by who arrives.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know if the rest of you have the doc open or if you're just looking at it on the
I do.
stream.
No, I came prepared. I have everything but the apple.
Yeah, I
Okay,
have it open.
cool. So yeah, just go to the sorted by game tab. From the bottom you can see, and we're just going to kind of start going through from the top down and go from there.
Uh-huh.
So if we see any games that have multiple categories, we're going to start by choosing one of the two.
All
Um,
right. So we're
now,
starting with By Shoujo Sailor Moon.
so
Oh,
that
no, those are different, though.
Yeah, so they're different games and different runners. I'm gonna want to hold out on that one just for a little bit because it's not the same runner and it's slightly different. So I want to look into that one a little more, see what the difference is between those two. I think the first real one that we'll start with is Catherine,
Yeah.
Catherine Full Body here.
So I think these are fairly different, aren't they? Isn't the Babel pairs like completely like different from the story?
Yeah,
Now, okay,
so Babel Tower, that probably means the Tower of Babel, which is
Right.
not this. That's that mode that generally you see at GDQ and everything, where it's just like kind of like a Bosch Rush mode.
all right,
While
Yeah.
the story
let's try
mode would
this
have all
again.
the cutscenes and everything else associated with that. And if it's Babel pairs, actually we had a run of this, I believe NASA 2, where it had Color Thief and D-Hack could play Babel as a pair, which I think they actually had the world record at the time. So it'd be nice to see another Catherine pairs
Yeah, so
be
I'm
event
jumping
again.
through this. So this is actually, it looks like a single person submission.
Oh,
The video, if you check what I'm clicking on here, they have it as one player to controller.
So yeah, that would be actually really fun
Sorry.
to watch.
I want to confirm if that is what was submitted. There we go. Of course, I have it. I have the other things hidden because does somebody want to? Oh, actually, I can open up the speedrun.com.
All right, so hear me out.
I'm listening.
What if we take Catherine full body and make Babel pairs 1 player 2 controller like a bonus incentive to be done like right after the main run?
So as I said, I want to double check what's actually So it is 1 player 2 controller.
That's actually just a category that people play.
Yeah.
It
That's
was
fair, actually.
Featured even at a GDQ where I currently forget their name, but they played with one hand on a fight stick and the other hand on a controller.
Oh, so this is like just like a normal run?
Yeah.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So they're basically both different runs. I think these are different enough. Yet again, we'll keep them for now. Just because they're both very unique from each other. So we'll keep those. We might end up cutting one or the other, but for now we'll keep them both just because they're so different, and then we'll continue going on.
Well, you've also got original Catherine versus mode showcase.
Oh yeah, I didn't see that one as well. Okay.
Which is 2 player.
Yes.
That involves another runner.
Yeah. So this might be one where, like, realistically, we're not going to accept all 3 of these, but if we do have a versus mode showcase exhibition, it might be one of those things where instead of taking the hour 50 run, we take Babel pairs 1 player 2 controller versus mode showcase 2 player.
Right.
That's what I would rather do, honestly.
Yeah.
I would say so, but one thing I would say again, like, and the reason I brought up that idea a moment ago is just to kind of put it in people's minds that we can like kind of slot some runs in as like incentive runs, or like, you know, we might want to do stuff like that for short stuff, or for like if we've got a bunch of categories, one category that's like a short glitchy run, right? Where like you do, you know, I don't know. I'm just
They could be split
coming up with
into
ideas.
weekends as well. So
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
it's not gonna feel repetitive next week.
Yeah, I
Yep.
totally forgot that's a concept that we can do. It gives
It
everyone
is.
like a weekly breather
Yeah.
before we do
And
stuff
they
again.
they are available both weekends, which is another thing we kind of have to take into account because some people might only be available one weekend or the other. So we'll just keep this for now, and we'll go to the next. See if they're what the next.
Yeah, let's see
categories.
where we're at with time.
Yeah.
Okay, what's the next crossover?
So the next one,
Echo. Well, we have a couple. I don't know, Dan, you might want to put in comment on here. We've got the Dr. Mario and Dr. Mario and Puzzle League. I'm not sure how different those 2 are from each other.
So Dr. Mario Game Boy is the original black and white one for the original Game Boy. Well, the NES is the original, but it's like a much older version, while Dr. Mario and Puzzle League is the Game Boy Advance version. As far as I understand it, I could be wrong, I could be misremembering, but the Game Boy version, it actually will spawn later on levels that are literally impossible to beat. 'Cause
Yeah.
it just
So
doesn't care where it
this
places
isn't
stuff.
going that far. This is 0 to 15. Where Dr. Mario and Puzzle League is
Yeah.
0 to 20. So I don't think we'll be getting that far regardless. But what I'm basically wondering is,
Honestly,
do you think they are different enough in your mind?
not really. Like, if you're good at Dr. Mario, it doesn't matter which Dr. Mario you play. Everyone will be like, "Holy shit, how'd you pull these off?"
Okay.
So, if you want, you can start the longer one, and then if we become time constraint, we can switch over to the shorter one. That's not a problem.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mark these as yellow for now. Oh, my clicks are going crazy.
What mouse are you using?
Using a Razer Death Adder.
oh, there was your mistake.
Using a Razer mouse for
Yep.
Razer Flame
I've had
submissions.
this
What
thing
year
for-
of Death Adder?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh.
Oh, okay. So older.
Yeah, older. This ain't new. Okay,
You
so
probably need new micro switches.
well, it's not really an issue. I think it's just because I'm like clicking push to talk and also scrolling and also clicking that's causing me to make sense. So anyway, let's continue on. We've got Echo Tides of Time is the next.
So this is I was looking at the this is one of the ones where I would, for example, propose saying you take the regular run, you accept the regular run, and you make the hard mode an incentive.
So,
Right.
so the thing you have to note though is that when you take hard as an incentive, one thing I also think you have to remember is you have to assume every incentive gets met. So when we're factoring in how long, we're basically taking both.
Yeah, no, you have to plan for the longer one. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. So we have to expect that we're slotting in 56 minutes. If it ends up a little earlier because an incentive isn't met, an incentive isn't met. But the thing I think we have to keep in mind, like that might be a case where I'm perfectly okay with that happening.
I'm just saying, like, we shouldn't just pretend like we're not doing a charity marathon and make a schedule like we're not doing a charity marathon, because
No, that makes sense to take into
I don't want
account.
to fall into that, is all I'm saying. And that's one where that's the only run that person submitted.
Yeah. So the thing is, yeah, it looks like it just says it's like the
Yeah.
any percent, but there's more of it.
Right.
And they've run it a few times before, and availability is anything. Yeah, so I think that might be a good case here. In
Right.
which case, I'm going to highlight the hard one as blue. I'm gonna put blue for bonus incentives.
Yeah. But make sure when you're totaling the hours that you grab the longer time.
Yeah, what I'm going to do, once we start like crossing out stuff is when I'm going to start calculating. Basically, I'm not going to actually calculate times until our second pass. Because
Okay.
when we're doing our third round of cuts is when time really matters. For the first two passes, it's mostly just doing cuts of, as I said, making sure runners don't have like 6 runs and make sure that each run only has one category accepted. Okay, so
Makes
let's
sense.
keep going down.
So,
Okay, Harry Potter. Here's one where we're going to have to make a decision because we've got a few different things here. We've got a PC Octofecta from Hot Coffee, which it looks like 8 runs. We've got the 7 PC Duofecta, which is Harry Potter 7 Part 1 and 2 together. We've got the Half-Blood Prince on its own, and then we have a separate submission from somebody different, which is the Game Boy Color version of Philosopher's Stone.
So I'm a big fan of the 7 PC Duofecta.
Yeah,
Me too.
that was the one I was kind of looking for.
Yeah.
Is I just think 14 hours is probably a little too long. And I think
mean, I'm not gonna lie, I would love to watch that.
So-
I would actually
so would
watch
I.
that whole thing.
I just think when it
But-
comes to the fact that we have to cut 60 hours of runs, getting a free 14-hour cut when it's not like we're losing out on a run entirely. I think what we have left over is still some very interesting
Right.
runs. I think at the very least, like what we're probably going to end up doing with Hot Coffee's Harry Potter runs is, at least in my opinion, what's generally going to happen, or in general with the Harry Potter runs, is we'll cut out the PC Octofecta. I'll cross that out in a second. We'll take one of either the 7 PC Duofecta or Half-Blood Prince once we decide that, and then we'll
Right.
probably also take the Philosopher's Stone.
Yeah, and then Hot Coffee has a bunch of other much shorter runs too, to take into account once we get to the runner side of things.
Yeah, so I'm gonna
But I would say
delete the
if
time.
we were gonna
estimate.
talk about like which game, like between Half-Blood Prince and the Duofecta, didn't we have Half-Blood Prince last year?
I think we had a version of Half-Blood Prince. I
have
don't
to
know.
double
I
check.
don't know if it was all
Check
Crest,
YouTube.
but I think we had it. I do like the idea of the Duofecta though, because in general, multi-run games are much more interesting. And
Yeah.
they can be
Yeah.
different. And like even I was reading his submission notes, and he was talking about how the two games, even though they are 7 Part 1, 7 Part 2, it's very different feel between the two of them. So I think getting that kind of uniqueness might be like I'd be fine with just saying that it's like out of all the categories we just stick with the multi-run 7 PC Duofecta, and just get rid of the Half-Blood Prince right now.
I'd be fine with that.
Yeah. Let's go with that.
Okay. Next up, we have Ice Age Scrat's Nutty Adventure.
Oh boy.
This is a finger quick run right here. Um, let's see if he's
So,
left
like,
any comments
this is-
on this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've owned Ice Age on YouTube for like 3 to 8 years for free, and I've never watched it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So his comments are very descriptive. It's Ice Age. It's Ice Age, but with more levels. It's Ice Age, but completing everything. It's Ice Age, except completing the entire game with no levitating. Um, this is the type of
See-
game where I don't know what your opinions are.
Levitating
Harris.
sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like the idea of not having levitating.
Yeah. So
So let's just throw that one out the window.
yeah. Okay. I'll get rid of that one ASAP.
Now, how much Ice Age Scrat's Nutty Adventure do we want to watch? Let me check out this VOD a little.
I'll pull it up too.
I think my vote would be for just 100%. Just make them do it.
You were gonna say 100%. See,
Yeah.
Yeah.
the thing it comes down the whole reason I was like just debating that was simply when it comes down to cuts for time. I think at least all levels would be interesting, but when it comes down to like 100%, we're talking about adding on an extra hour. So the thing is I think what we can do is I think we can probably narrow it down to all levels and 100%.
I think that's the case. Well, looking at this VOD, it's like one of those kind of generic
Collect
movie
thing.
It's
tie-in.
Yeah.
it's a collectathon. Yep. It's basically
So-
Spyro the Dragon.
Yeah,
100%
I'd
is
go with all
probably
levels.
Gonna be really like
Boring?
He's jumping over lava. I mean, this is pretty lit.
He is jumping over lava. You're not wrong.
Yeah, I
Generic.
yeah,
No, now he's jumping over cliffs.
yeah, everyone's jumping a little forward to see what we're getting here.
Where's the hovering? I was promised
Look at the
levitation. Where's the
timer.
levitation?
Look at that line he takes, though.
this is heavily optimized.
Yeah, I'm voting for 100%.
You know what? Lurk's convincing me.
Okay, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keep both all levels and 100% on there right now, just because if it comes down to cutting time, I might be okay with cutting the 100% of this.
Yeah, I think that's reasonable.
So we'll cut any percent. We want to at least see a little more of it than
Yeah,
25 minutes. But if it comes between 45 minutes and an hour 45, there might be a little more to look into there.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right. So
Next is Icy.
Next up we have
Yep.
Icy. So Emerald Alley has New Game Plus all bosses and New Game Plus Judas ending here. Yet again, I'm going to look at the...
It doesn't look
at the
like
comments.
there's too much difference in time, really. So I don't see why.
I'm
we
looking
wouldn't
at those
take all
mission
bosses,
notes.
thinking of
yeah,
it
that's what I'm
primarily.
basically checking.
Honestly, what would probably be the best thing to do in this case is to just take the 25 for time and then just do a bid war between the
So
Yeah.
the thing is, if you look, they actually already have a couple like options here when it comes down to incentives on each of the runs. Bid war or pass fail incentive for this category. Could also do a bid war for narration language. So basically, it seems like there's a couple bid wars. 1 second, let me scroll up a little. Oh wait, those are all just availability. So I was just wondering what please refer to previous submission meant. So yeah, what I think like these are one of the ones where I'd be okay with runner's
Well,
choice
hold
for
on.
these because sometimes when they get really close.
Are they available the second weekend? or
Let
the
me
first
scroll
weekend,
up.
Or both?
Okay, here we go. Work until 11 p.m. Home by 12 midnight. Sleep around 4 or 5. Can also sleep early and be up by 9 or 10 a.m. on the other side. So anytime in the a.m. hours Pacific time is ideal, but please not in the 6 to 7 a.m. range. So basically, sometime between like midnight and 4 a.m. Pacific.
But
Um,
both weekends, right?
it seems like both weekends, yes.
So here's what I'm proposing. The first weekend we do a bid war of which category. The second weekend we do a bid war of that are in that actual category.
The only thing I'm worried about doing things like this is then we're going to be talking about running the same game twice, and if we have to drop
No,
a
who said running the same thing twice?
wait, I'm confused what you're talking about then.
The
You're saying-
first weekend there's literally only a bid war to decide all bosses and Judah's ending. When the second weekend pops up, the bid wars that are inside the category that were already provided open up. Because you said there's different incentives depending on which category, right?
Yes.
What he's basically saying is
I know,
you can do bid wars to unlock runs
No,
or to vote on what you want to see next weekend.
I know what he's talking about. I'm just debating if I want to like double up on something like that.
What do you
There's
mean
other
double
runs
up?
that they submitted as well.
Well,
like,
we're
there's
yeah, yeah,
30
yeah.
47. So.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a lot of other runs there. What I'm saying is in terms of like doubling up two separate different bid wars for the same game across 2 weekends just seems like a little much, especially when it comes down to this. I'd rather, in my opinion, just choose a
Hey,
game and then
Then do it.
for it. The thing is at this point I don't want to make that decision yet. I need to look through it a little more. Give me one
Well,
second.
it even says like in the submission notes, it says that all bosses is their favorite category. So
Yeah.
we can just do
Yeah,
that
it's just-
then.
Okay, then we'll take all bosses, or at least we'll get rid of the other one and we'll keep all bosses there at the start. Okay, so we'll do that.
I agree.
yeah, easy. Oh, we got
Wild.
Dance next.
Okay, next up is Just Dance, yes.
So, what's the longest category?
3 hours, 10 minutes. That's
I
all
feel like we
routines,
should make them
including
do
online
that one.
exclusives, blindfolded exhibition.
That sounds about right.
Let's look through them first. 1 second. Okay. So they're all. So basically, it's just adding on more and more content. This is a type of thing where I feel like when we're talking about like incentives, this is one where I feel like it could be useful. Because we're talking about like all songs, then all routines, including online exclusives.
Does
Yes.
all routines encompass all songs, or is that
That's a good
are they
question.
So let's confirm this.
because
Yeah.
the time
You
So
would
so
think-
basic. So yes. So basically, it's the same songs, but some of them have two different routines.
Aren't the routines quote unquote difficulty? Am I
Basically.
crazy? Okay.
I don't know if I want to hear this. Like,
It's good to
I
know that
remember
like
when me and
3
those
years
crazy guys have played Just Dance, like at get-togethers and stuff.
Yeah,
and
I played a little bit of it recently because my sister had the game, so I gave it a bit of a try.
the same
and
song over again is kind of like
It's
boring.
it's basically doing the same song twice. Yes.
yeah.
So in that case, it comes down to if we want to. So like here's an interesting comment here because we've got like we have all songs, then we have all routines, then we have all routines with online exclusives. I want to figure out what those online exclusives is because I may be interested to see if the runner's interested in doing like all songs, including online exclusives, seeing how much that changes the estimate.
looks like they're in chat.
Are they? Let's check. Sorry, I'm pulling this.
No song has more than one alternate routine. 9 out of 13 routines are extreme difficulty. So it's like they're just really hard, basically.
Yeah, so that's what it seems like. Is it seems like that's the case.
I mean,
or some
that's
of them are
good.
Just really, yeah. So it really comes down to whether or not it comes down to having the time for the extra. Like realistically, if I was going to take one over the other, I'd either take all songs or all routines, including online exclusives, because it's only 10 extra minutes.
Yeah.
So I think what we can do is knock out the all routines, just one in the middle, because realistically, we're just going to want to go with one side or the other.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we'll cut out the all routines blindfolded, and then when it comes down to deciding time, we'll make another decision there in a second
Yeah.
pass,
Yeah.
That sounds good.
or I guess our third pass.
Whichever.
All right, we got Life is Strange next. This is a drastic difference.
Yeah.
It
So
is.
the thing is, I'm not sure if you played Life is Strange before. Basically, it's,
Hell no.
yeah. So I have. Basically, the big difference here is, like, I think in total there are 5 chapters. So basically, they're showing the first of 5 as one option, and then the full game as a second. It's that storytelling type of game. So when it comes down to the biggest thing I think we need to figure out here is, because it's such a significant difference in time, is basically if it comes down to if we want to show off the whole game, or if we think just a episode 1 single show off is sufficient.
Or if we need a good
Can I-
graveyard shift beyond like something else already, because we have some pretty long submissions as well in addition to this, right? So
Yeah.
Yeah.
My question, realistically, and this might sound kind of harsh, but my question is, as someone who's played the game, I don't know if you've seen the speed run, but if I watch Life is Strange, episode 1 100% versus Life is Strange the whole thing, am I, outside of experiencing the entire story, am I going to see hot speed tech that I'm not going to get if I watch the shorter run?
Yeah, that's basically what it comes down to, I think. Is there is some I think there's
Do people
some interesting
donate to
stuff.
Life of Strange though.
That's
No, I'm not
one of those
necessarily saying
games
that
that
we would
people
do it
are
an
all,
incentive. We would just pick one ourselves.
yeah, this is one where you definitely don't do an incentive, but I think when it
No.
so we have a comment here saying there's glitches and stuff in episodes 3 to 5, but they can do a glitch exhibition.
That might be more
How long would a
ideal.
glitch exhibition take?
Yeah, that's a
Are you
good
talking
question.
Like 10, 15
Let me
minutes,
turn
20
them down a
minutes?
little.
Dark Fox, stop talking so much, like loudly, the volume.
I realized the issue. Dark Fox isn't loud. He was speaking the normal thing. For some reason, my audio had him at 200%.
Well, you know
Oh.
what's actually kind of fucked about that is that like everyone on Discord always changes like everyone else's volume, and so everyone's volume is like different everywhere on like every different
Yeah.
server. And so everyone's telling everyone like, "Hey, you're too loud. Hey, you're too quiet," and then like so everyone's settings are just like
Yeah.
Discord.
Okay, so we have a comment here saying about 10ish, probably 10ish
mean-
minutes. I'd be fine with that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just leave a note here.
Mhm.
Because there's a bunch of other crispy Hanako runs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I
that's
think
what
we
I-
should get rid of full game, and then just have an episode 1 with glitch exhibition.
Yeah.
They've got
I'm-
Catherine as well, so
Right, exactly. And I think there's actually might even be something else.
Yeah. So I think in this case, at least in the first pass, I think getting rid of this run will not only does it cut 6 hours off the time we need to cut, it's I do agree that getting to see one full episode of itself and then getting a glitch exhibition is kind of the best of both worlds in there. So yeah, I think
Right.
this is a good start. Yeah, so basically, yes, this is a full game selection stream. In case anyone's joining a little late, basically what we're doing is we're going through our full game selection. So if anyone wants to know why we chose or cut something, they can see. If you want to see the full list, we will post it somewhere at the end of this stream. Basically, in case you came a little late, I'll just give a quick explanation. We're going through all games, cutting multiple categories of games down to one category. We're then going to sort by runner, cut down runners with too many runs to about 2 or 3 runs, and then we're going to cut down to our exact time. We need to go from about 170 hours to about 110 hours.
Not including bonus.
Well, like as I said, 110 hours is around where we want to be, including like bonus stuff.
Oh,
Maybe.
really? That includes bonus? Okay.
Yeah, because 110, as I said, is going from noon on Friday till 7 p.m. on Sunday. If we want to go up to maybe 115, 116, go to maybe 10 p.m. on Sunday, that's fine. But what I'm saying is we're kind of shooting for around 110 hours.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's including bonus and everything like that. So our total is going to be about 110 hours. That's why I said we need to keep that in mind. But basically, we're not going to be doing cuts of individual runs, like where a runner might not make it through to the marathon until our third pass. So if you want to see kind of how we do our game selection process, and since we don't have thousands of runs, we can kind of do this in one marathon or in one sitting. So anyway, our next down the list is Mega Man Powered Up.
Transparency when possible.
I was gonna say, gotta be transparent.
Yeah.
So, Mega Man Powered Up, I believe we actually had a run of this before one of the offshoot events that we had, and it's basically like a cutesy PSP Mega Man game, isn't
I
it?
vote for Roll. Roll is cute.
Roll is cute.
I was gonna say Roll.
Roll is pretty cute. I'm not gonna lie.
Although this is a pretty good. If they haven't,
Yeah, Powered Up is
for
like
one, it's Peter Afro. Peter, are you gonna do commentary?
yeah. That's that. I really want an answer to that.
Where's Peter at?
Yeah.
Also, happy birthday.
It's required.
by the way. Just, shout out to Peter Afro. It's his birthday today.
Yeah. So what it comes down to is yes, we're definitely looking for commentary. So we need to kind of follow up.
Good donation incentive here. We could a pick between Mega
You're talking
Man,
Bidwar because
Proto
they're
Man.
all the exact same estimate.
Bidwar, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
This is one time where I think Bidmore makes 100% sense because we're talking about the exact. It's the exact same estimate, so we're not. Like, it's the same game, same estimate. There's really no harm in choosing this, and it will be very consistent with our estimate.
I want to be clear that Peter Afro does not need to be the person to commentate this.
Yes.
There just
Oh,
needs to
yeah.
be someone commentating it.
Okay. So for now, we'll just leave them up, but it seems like what it may come down
Oh.
to is Bid War.
Maybe make it like orange or something. That can be.
Yeah.
Sure.
So now we're about to get into the the realness of all the Metal Gear
This is
duplicates.
some Metal Gear. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this
there's
is-
there's a little bit of
definitely-
Metal Gear. The thing is really we have to break it down into a few different things here. So we've got
Yes.
2 Metal Gear Solid submissions. We've got 3 Metal Gear Solid 2 HDs, 4 Metal Gear Solid 2 Substance, 2 Metal Gear Solid 2 VR missions. So step 1 is probably going to be figuring out what the difference is between HD, Substance, and VR
Okay,
missions.
so I can
you answer
actually
that?
Yeah, what the
answer
fuck
some
is
of those
Substance?
questions.
Okay.
Okay, so
is
Substance
a
is the-
PS2 kind of like special edition.
He's correct. There's subsistence for Metal Gear Solid 3 also, but apparently we got a Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater submission, which is very confusing. Don't know why you would want to not
It's-
be able to move your camera, but
It's a different runner, so
whatever.
we're talking.
Well, it's because it's a different runner. That's why.
That's what I
Um,
just said.
No, but I mean, there's 2 different versions of that game, and in the subsistence version, you can move your camera, and in the other one, it's fixed.
Hey, it depends what
so
you
they're
it depends
playing
what
the
you
fix.
have. So
Maybe it's faster.
that's also possible.
Mm.
So
Oh.
here we go. When it comes down to like the estimates are all pretty similar around
I have
these.
a question though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is Metal Gear Solid 2 HD the same game as Metal Gear Solid 2 Substance?
Yes. Like, there's. To my knowledge, they're not literally different video games.
They have just like Substance has like extra bonus things in it and like extra cameos and maybe like an extra mini egg. Like,
I'm
Easter
looking
egg and
at
mini
the
game and
submissions.
shit. As far as I remember, anyways, from all
If
the
I can scroll to the goddamn info, I really don't like the way that it like just vomits the text onto the page. It's,
Yeah.
not
Well,
very,
that's why I
optimal.
haven't expanded it on Google Sheets yet. Oh, we have a comment
Yeah.
here. HD is substance ported by Bluehole. VR mission is its own thing.
Yeah, VR mission is its own thing. Like I understand the concept. Like that's the thing. Like I don't know what the distinct differences are though. Like I'm sure that there's probably like some glitches you can't do in HD version. That's why it's slightly faster than Substance. Or maybe Substance has like some extra items that the HD version doesn't
Is
have.
there a preference to HD or to Substance?
I'm reading that now.
Our bleeder.
Yeah. So I think what we can come into.
Like, is one generally accepted as like better than the other? Or
Well, the
I-
other
I
thing-
haven't played Metal Gear.
The other
except
thing
the
I think
first
we
one.
have to look into is difficulty. So both of them basically have normal, very easy, European extreme. Me personally, I think European extreme is coolest because it's
Yeah.
like it's you have to really show off everything and be super stealthy and
Yeah, I mean, I think the question really would come down to like 2 HD European Extreme or 2 Substance European.
yeah. In my
Right.
opinion, you want to go in either direction. In my personal opinion, because yeah, very easy as a comment was made there. It's like the stealth and like playing properly and by the book is much more the case on like European Extreme, where on very easy it's just like ignore everything and see how fast you can kind of run through everything.
Mhm.
So I think like in general the normals we can just get rid of automatically.
Here's what I think we should do. Here's what I think we should do. We need to pick which game we're going to take, and then we should have it be a bid war between very easy and European extreme. So, like, the easiest and the hardest.
See, when it comes down to bid wars, I just need to make sure we're not getting too crazy where like everything's a bid war.
Well, it could just be, you could just have it start as very easy and then have the incentive be to do it on European extreme instead. Like, we could take very easy.
Yeah,
And-
okay, so
and then-
so basically what I want to see here, yeah, the things are different.
Because I think that's the intent of why they submitted so many different difficulties.
Yeah. Let me let me
assuming-
go back to run submissions. They
They've
don't
got
actually
ending-
have it listed.
yeah.
Yeah, they just have ending listed there. So not anything about difficulty.
Bid war for language, English versus Japanese for the HD edition. Otakon versus Meryl in Metal Gear Solid 1. I'm not sure, man.
Yeah. So what I think we should do, at least initially, what it's going to come down to, I think, is we cut out normal because I don't think we want normal in any world. We either want the easiest or we want the hardest.
That was actually that's not a terrible idea for the record. A bid war marathon is not a terrible idea. Where you bid on what the next game that'll be played is. But you would need a lot of runners ready to just run a game. that would be a very involved process. Would be cool though.
Yeah, good idea. We'll have a bid war if we raise at least, or instead of a bid war, it'll probably just be a thing. If we can raise at least $50,000, we'll just cancel a whole marathon.
Yeah, I like that.
Just cancel everyone's runs last minute. There we go. Sorry, somebody put down a bunch of money to cancel the whole marathon. Yeah, so I think for now we'll start with, what's this one here that just says PC? Oh wait, that's a different person. I just realized that. We have somebody who
Yes,
submitted
there's someone.
Metal Gear Solid 2 just on its own. So that's another note here that I completely missed. It's just kind of hidden
Yeah.
in here with everyone else. Yeah, so let me go to sort by runner. I just want to see out of interest if that runner has any other run. Yes, they do. Okay, they have a handful of other runs. Okay. Yeah, so because the Basalted Peanuts person has 3 runs total. So I think This will be an interesting thought here when it comes down to this.
This is very
There's a lot
difficult.
of choices, and then we have VR down here, which we haven't even looked at yet.
Well, it's a different
My
game.
man Bath Salted Peanuts, I think, submitted his estimate as the record.
The question is are they the record holder?
Yeah, that's a
No.
great question.
So D
Oh.
Limes, the other runner who submitted everything, is the record holder, and
Oh.
Bath Salted Peanuts is 7th
Yeah, I
with
just
a
pulled that up.
104, and the world record is 102.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is we should take some of Bath Salt's other games?
Yeah, I think in this case,
mean-
in general, it's like if we have the guy as the world record holder doing it, I think that's a better show. And this person has other runs submitted, so I'm probably gonna cut their run here.
Yeah.
Unless I'm looking at
Yeah.
the wrong leaderboard.
No, I clicked on the game. It was the right leaderboard. So I think what we can do here is probably consult the runner here, and see which of the two they'd rather run, between Substance and HD, and maybe just try and get some more info from them. Because I think there's no better person to kind of get the full understanding of the difference and which they prefer than between them. So I think in this case we'll leave that for now. We'll leave these 4 open for now. Okay, we skipped Metal Gear Solid, by the way.
What? No.
Yeah,
I mean,
Metal Gear Solid
we-
has
we
2
kind of did.
categories as well. It
We're
has,
kind of just in Metal Gear.
yeah, we're just
land.
kind of sorting around Metal Gear Solid. So we have all bosses in any percent. Let me pull this
So
up.
did we pick between
All
HD and
bosses would-
Substance?
No, as I
Probably
was
be
just
more
talking about how
interesting.
for that we want to talk to the runner.
Ask them. Okay.
Yeah, ask them. What did you say, Aries?
I was gonna say, as somebody who's like played the original Metal Gear Solid beginning to end, skipping bosses, and like I've seen a bits and pieces of the speedrun there, and that you skip out on some cool stuff. I would prefer to see all the bosses.
What?
We're talking about Metal Gear Solid 1. All bosses are any
Yes.
percent.
Metal Gear Solid 1, all bosses, any percent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could probably agree with that. But on the other hand, I like glitchy runs, so I'd rather watch the any percent run.
But I don't think the any percent run is necessarily glitchy. I think it just more abuses.
Oh, you
Like-
made it sound like it was like skipping,
I- Yeah,
It does say glitch.
Okay.
It does
It did.
specify glitch, at
It
least in
might-
the description. here.
Information might be a little bit outdated. I don't know how glitchy it is. I don't remember the runs being
Okay.
super
This is
glitchy.
another one as well when it comes down to. Okay, we'll leave this for now. VR.
Well, here's a question that we could maybe to pose, because right now it looks like we have a pretty good Metal Gear Solid fucking 1, 2, 3 if we really want to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
D Lime's doing Metal Gear Solid, either maybe some combination of Bath Salted Peanuts and D Lime's doing. I don't know if they race or anything, or maybe that could be a thing. And then
Yeah,
we
that's a
get
good
Raichu
point.
doing Metal Gear Solid 3. You know, that's a good block.
And you've
Or
got
Metal
the
Gear
VR
Solid
missions.
fans would be.
Yeah, we also got the VR missions.
I
I think that might be one of those things though where we could do that on a separate weekend, do a 1, 2, 3 in a row,
Yeah.
and then do VR missions. Let me just check their availability.
VR missions look kind of ass in my opinion. Like I don't know about that,
I-
but yeah,
Don't like VR missions.
it's just like side missions. It look like with like not much detail.
It's not even side missions. Basically, what it's at least this was the
Training
case. Yeah, that's what it is. It was just it's like imagine DLC back in the day. Instead of getting a whole new game when you bought this Metal Gear Solid thing, you instead just got training missions.
Oh yeah, it definitely is the training missions. Okay.
That is what it
I
is.
have the video open right now.
It's fun, but like you can only do so many missions before you're just like, okay. It's a
Maybe
lot
make
more.
the one that is 35 minutes, like a donation thing, like a bonus run thing or something. I don't know, but
Yeah.
Eh.
For the block. Just get the short one as a donation incentive.
I definitely think cutting the long one for sure is something we.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so let's
even though
cut.
it does say he wears a tuxedo, I mean that's pretty boss.
Yeah.
That is pretty boss. I'm not
But
gonna lie.
is it worth 30 extra minutes?
I mean, almost.
It's cut. Okay. Basically,
Damn.
what it's going to come down to here is we have a couple more
Hello.
decisions we need to come back on later.
Hello.
Oh,
Hey, Nightglare.
hi, Naglaria. Welcome.
I
Yes,
thought we were doing 10. You're good.
No,
No, that's why I specified 8 p.m. EST. I even put the EST
Yeah.
just for you. And you didn't catch it.
It's all good. We just
Okay.
got a Metal Gear block going. It looks like so.
Yeah. Pokemon Snap. Like, there's the Pokemon puzzle ones, but I think we can keep that for later when we get to cutting, like, FFR's runs. Pokemon Snap, 100%, any percent. Is there any reason you would want any percent over 100%?
No,
I feel like 100% is just any
just my
percent, but
personal
better.
opinion. Anyways,
Well, yeah, you could donation incentive it.
Bid war. Here we go.
let's do it. Why not?
Did
Whatever.
somebody say bid war?
What? Bid Wars? Where? What game are we talking about?
Pokemon Snap, keep up.
Oh shit, we're on Pokemon Snap already? I'm sorry, I was reading all the posts in our server. Fam.
Well, that sounds like your first mistake.
I know I shouldn't have done that. Let me get the list pulled back up. Okay, so Pokemon Snap, Bid War? Bid War.
Putting bid war with a question mark.
I think you should put it with a period. Even an exclamation mark in my opinion.
Are we going through games alphabetically?
Go to sorted by game. Basically, our first pass, what we're doing is we're just looking at games with multiple categories, and we're looking at games with multiple categories and choosing one category, or at least attempting to. Okay, here we go. This is confusing me.
Yeah.
We've got Skylanders Trap Team submitted twice with a 40-minute difference in estimate by two people,
okay,
one
let
of
me-
which
let me-
lists
let me
the other
interrupt you.
person.
Let me
Is
ask
it
you
supposed
this.
to be a race?
Is there information?
I'm looking this up.
I'm also trying to find it. It's kind
Yes.
of hard.
Different
So-
consoles as well.
Yeah.
They are different consoles. That was one of the things I was going to point out.
Yeah, I'm really confused here. I almost think we need to follow up with them on this because they both list each other as a like co-runner.
Maybe they have it on both consoles.
But like,
Maybe they're not poor.
but why would they?
Oh, there.
Submit it
one of them's
separately.
in chat.
Okay, are they in chat? Cool. Can you clarify this?
Fucking elitist speedrunners.
Yeah.
Well, it's like, yeah, I don't mind it being a race. It's just if it's such a big difference in estimate, would it be like a shit show of a race?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
That's basically
The
what it
estimates are very
that's
different.
basically what it comes down to because yeah, a race can be interesting, but a 40-minute
Only
difference.
if you don't know who is going to win.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's like if we're talking about a 40-minute difference, it doesn't exactly. A race needs to be competitive. So the problem is that if we have a 40-minute difference, realistically, we're only going to take one runner. If the two times are quite close together, then it's fine. And as long, we need to figure out what the estimate is.
Yes.
Because yeah, if we're talking about a 40-minute difference, then a race won't be a good watch because we're just talking about.
Duraludon also has Just Dance, whereas Donate Elo
Donatello.
that's as much as you're that okay.
What?
Sure. Donatello.
Donatello to donkey. You gotta
Holy-
be able to parse here.
That's a lot. That's okay. Anyway, they have other games, whereas whereas they don't.
Yeah. So I'm pulling
You
up
get
the
what I'm
all
saying.
villains, which is what they submitted. The yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So basically, Donatello has the world record at 2 hours and 40 minutes. Duraludon has one run. So basically, what it comes down to here, I think, this is what I'd probably make as a note. If you think you can get close, like very close to the race time or like to the record time, I think it would be a race. If we can't get close enough, like if your time's still like 2:45, 2:50, we're talking about like an almost 3 hour run where it's basically everyone's only going to be watching one person, because it's not going to be close the whole time. So I think what we need to do here,
Yeah, providing commentary would actually be more effective in that sense, because then
yeah,
you could let him focus more on the run. Without really looking too much into it, but
yeah.
I mean,
let me open the
I
run.
also agree that if the estimate that is submitted, what's the estimate for their run? It says that
The
the world
estimate
record
I think
240.
is 245. It's 245, so
Okay.
it's fine.
And
It's
that's not,
above.
they didn't submit world record.
Yeah,
They just are the world record.
5 minutes over is fine for an
Yeah,
estimate.
I agree 100% with
it
chat.
looks like a rail
But,
gunner.
If
type
someone
thing.
submitted the literal world record vibe,
Skylanders Trap Team. So Skylanders is a cool kind of thing that it's pre-amiibos. It's basically a
Um,
platformer where you swap out the character based on what amiibo. Everyone calls them amiibos now, but they're Skylanders. They're toys with the NFC thing, and
Yeah.
you swap out the character depending on what you need in the current situation, and you can level up your characters. So like technically, there's no such thing as a new game because it would, unless you wipe the toy, it's always going to be like a new game plus type deal. But it's super interesting in the fact that like you could strategize of like, okay, so this area or level is better or faster with this character.
yes.
So it's basically the whole amiibo drama on steroids because there's like
it's
infinite
way worse than
possibilities.
Amiibo, dude. Back when, you gotta understand, when Skylanders were new, right? Like those things were going for like
Oh yeah,
no
I
Amiibo
have-
has ever been worth like what, except for maybe some of the extreme limited. Like the Skylanders are insanely like
it's kind of
it's-
sad
it's
that they
nuts.
haven't doubled down on
It
the
is.
Skylander toys. They were just too ahead of their time, honestly. I think. 'Cause
Okay.
I have the original Skylanders.
So
and
without
Giants,
getting
so-
too sidetracked here, basically I
Yes.
think our logic for this is going to be, like, we're going to if we can get proof that the estimates are close before the marathon, I'd be fine with making it a race.
Right.
If the estimates are not close, then we're going to do one person. So yeah,
What's
I
our
think
deadline? Like a week before?
yeah, I think we'll make a note to follow in a week before.
We could schedule this for the second weekend.
Yeah,
I mean,
if that's helpful.
fine as well.
I would ask you guys to just race it, like try to race yourselves a few times, and if it's
Yeah.
like if every single time one guy wins, then it's like that's pretty one.
Yeah,
Right.
basically,
That'd be the best
yeah,
way to.
I
figure
agree.
it out.
So basically, that's probably how we're going to go here: is have one person do the run, unless we can get kind of proof that the race will actually be a good watch. If it's always a one-person blowout, then it probably makes more sense to have one person do the run and then the other person commentate, because having two people commentate is a great way to still make a very entertaining kind of banter run, and then that way both of you can focus on the same person and kind of give good commentary that way. So yeah, I think we'll follow up with you. Chances are, if we get to the end and this is somewhere in the schedule, that's probably what we'll do, is we'll schedule it as a like conditional race. Basically, if they can condition that it will actually be a competitive race, then cool. If it's never a competitive race, then it'll be a one-person run. Okay, that's that done. Next up we have Spyro. So Spyro, here we have a few different submissions.
What's up with the 12-minute submission?
That's probably
any
90%.
yeah, so yeah, they have it commented over here. So the 12-minute is any percent. Because I think it's kind of weird with how speedrun.com takes the submissions. So the 52-minute is 80 dragons. And then the 1 hour is no balloonist skip, which is any percent showing off. It's basically no major glitches.
I think the any percent could be a potential bonus after the main run because it's only 12 minutes, right? It's one of those things where it's like, well, this is how like I beat the game. All right, now let's see the game completely broken. Boom, 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 done, right?
Yeah, 80%. And so if I had to choose here, the 80 dragons, like even by the runner's own admission, saying that it's probably the most exciting of the runs.
As an avid Spyro fan, I would agree.
I would say you do. I would say like you do the 80 dragons one, right? And then you do the other one, like Dan said, as like a I don't know, like $100 bonus or like a $50 bonus incentive or something to see the super broken version after. Like they do that in GDQ, right?
I mean,
Okay, I haven't
also
noticed.
has like
I haven't noticed.
insanity chicken donation incentives. So
What is that?
it was insanity
Oh
chicken
wait,
was
I
like
did.
somebody
highlight
hyped up a donation incentive for some 2D RPG game, and people donated like thousands of dollars, and literally all it was a chicken sprite on screen, and then the guy just kind of went like bok bok, it's the insanity chicken bok, and
Oh,
then that was
I
it.
thought someone was gonna eat hot wings.
That would
Oh.
be an
Like-
amazing
Okay.
game.
Hot wings.
That would have been good.
Let's continue on. We've got Strider 2 next. We've almost taken an hour and we are not even through our first.
Where's
easy
the
pass.
commentary, Peter?
Like, I feel like all of Peter Afros in general have like a star on them. Like, please find somebody to provide commentary, or we're kicking your run out of the marathon.
Yeah, but
Isn't
it's
Streets of Rage next, actually.
These are two different games.
yes.
You might have to re-go over the
categories.
Yeah,
yeah.
we're just doing categories right now of the same game. So, let's see. So Strider 2.
In the Super Metroid.
Strider 2 is before Super Metroid.
Oh shit, you're right.
I don't know.
I
if you
can't.
know how...
T is before you. Fuck.
And not only if you look at the drive where it's sorted by game, it's literally above the other. Okay. Strider 2.
The game is fine, but I explicitly don't want silent runs.
Oh, we already made a
Yeah.
note of this. We said it's like we need some sort of
Yeah.
commentary. It doesn't need to be by the runner.
Well, we need
just
to
somebody
pick one
needs
of
to be
these.
talking.
Let's just pick one. What's the difference? All stages is Hiryu versus Hien. So what's the difference between Hiryu and Hien? Hiryu's the main
That's
character.
what I'm checking.
Yeah. So I need to see the Hien part. Let me find
The
it.
Hiryu is talking about marathon safe. All stages adds 2 extra stages. Hien goes through all stages without any stage select. As a character who uses boomerangs instead of a sword. Sounds more marathon unsafe.
Uh-huh.
Like, yeah, that's what it seems like.
Well, go with the marathon safe one, I guess. Unless, the one that's not marathon safe is significantly cooler looking. Because I'm open to significantly cooler slow runs. Yep, that sure did look like normal old Strider.
Yeah, I'm just checking the two of them right now.
Oh, look, he's got the world record. That's good. Ooh.
Trying to get through to combat. Yeah, it's definitely a guy with a boomerang instead.
Neat.
Yeah, I say go with the 15-minute one. I mean, Peter has other runs.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
sounds good.
And we need
Yeah.
commentary, Peter. Also, happy birthday.
Classic.
Truly.
Okay, Super Metroid.
Yeah. Super Metroid.
We've got any percent, we've got GT code, we've got low percent.
I kind of like low percent, to be honest. Just in general. But I just like that run. So.
Yeah. Agreed.
I mean, it is the longest one, which has, yeah, whatever. But I think it's the most interesting one.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the comments here. trying to see if they have a run submitted. Ah, here we go. Okay, I found a run for.
I'm gonna just start reading Raiku's.
Yeah, you can start looking through stuff.
Well, because I'm sure that there's quite a big difference between these two things.
Raiku's also in chat, so we can get clarifications for those.
I know, but I want to at least do him the service of reading what he wrote first
That's fair.
before asking stupid questions.
I mean, I would say I would also take low percent. I think it's like people like Super Metroid.
Yeah,
So
I
give
think
them low
knowing the history of them, I do think low percent's definitely the most interesting watch. Yeah, it's definitely the estimate seems correct. Let me just double check the PB. Oh yeah, it's a very conservative estimate. Their PB is 102, a 120 estimate. So yeah, that's definitely leaving a lot of time for mistakes, which I think is good.
Mhm.
Okay, yeah, I think that's fine.
I second that.
Oh, here it is.
Okay, here we go. Yeah, so basically what, like in my opinion, it basically comes down to we either have a choice here between a co-op run or a race. That's basically what it comes down to.
What do you mean?
Like
Well, yeah,
the two-player
Right.
multi-world, yeah, the two-player multi-world is a co-op run between the two
Mhm.
of them. V11
Where's the
normal
other one's a
logic
race?
is a race. Yes, it's both of
Gotcha.
them would be doing it individually. I assume is like based on the estimate. Would you say that multi-world is Raikou? Would you say that the multi-world is a what was I going to say, like a more difficult or more showcased run?
Yeah, I mean,
Well, it's more interesting.
Yeah, well, co-op runs in general I find are more interesting, but I'm just more interested to find out like with this because I think
How
I'm
is
just-
it co-op if you're gonna be social
Not-
distancing?
I was gonna say that's the real question I have. Is there like a net play thing that they're using or something?
I think
Yeah.
there is. Yeah.
It has
Yeah.
to be,
yeah,
right?
it's like it goes into like a server thing
And
that,
how
that
is it
moves the
co-op?
items
Like,
around. So
is
like,
it
okay,
I think you're
one
doing the
of-
same. You're in the
Pass
same
off.
space at the same
Items are
time.
shared.
the like items are shared. Yeah,
Yeah, they
You gotta
did like
read
a
the submi-
co-op-ish run last year. Actually,
I'm literally reading the submission, and I would vote for 100% the co-op, the 4 hour
Yeah.
and 30.
Yeah, I think
If we're only going to take one, I would vote for that one. I
It's
would
an 8-foot
also
couch
say
with
that
6
I'm
feet in between.
I'm
What's
honestly
different
open to
from
doing
last
one
year's
each
co-op?
weekend. To be honest with you,
the only thing about
If
that
we
is
have
we're
time.
talking. That's what I was gonna say. Is it comes down to time. I think in this case we're probably only going to have time for one, considering we need to cut 60 hours, and cutting 3.5 hours is going to be like 3.5 hours of other runs. I'd rather do one 3.5 hour run, and I think they'll probably be more similar. But yeah, like he's seeing some comments here. We're talking about as two different worlds, where one player's items can be found in the other's world. That just sounds bizarre and interesting.
yeah.
Oh, okay, I get it now.
Yeah.
Oh wait, items. I guess yeah, it's randomized between two games.
I
It's not when
Yeah.
one guy gets it, they both share it. It's like
That's
each.
why it's multi-world. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that
I vote for the multi-world. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds way more
Mhm.
interesting in my opinion. And as Raikou mentioned, that it hasn't been showcased. I think that's much more interesting. I'd be perfectly
I'm
good
sold
with the
on
yeah,
multi-world.
so am I, because it's
Yeah.
very unique, and I think uniqueness is something that's always cool. So I think, yeah, we'll get rid of the V11 normal logic and keep in the multi-world.
Plus, Raikou and Stump are just a good co-op. I'm
So
not gonna lie.
Yeah, when they
Super
did their
Puzzle-
show off co-op last year, it was really really good.
Super Puzzle Fighter is that those are technically two different games,
Yeah.
but how are they that different?
Okay, so basically the difference here, I'm gonna just based off my puzzle fighter speedrun knowledge, is that Akuma probably has a different drop pattern. Most of the time when you speedrun, you play as Ken due to the fact that his drop pattern for garbage is the most broken. And literally, if you speedrun or play pro, basically everyone plays Ken. It's kind of like Ken in Puzzle Fighter is basically Meta Knight in Brawl. Like there's nobody better, literally.
Yeah.
So Akuma Hard is probably just it looks like Akuma's probably like a GBA thing, because I don't remember being able to unlock Akuma, or it might be harder to unlock Akuma in the other games. But either way, it's probably just a different drop pattern, meaning it's not like it's probably a face roll, but a different kind of face roll. Let's put it that
So
way.
I think what we should just do right now, they are two different games. I think we'll just hold off on that for now until we get to the runners games. Yeah, so for the Tetris, yeah, they are, so there's the Famicom versus the NES.
So yeah, if it's Tetris Famicom, if it's is this the first or hold on, I need to see which Tetris Famicom it is. Is it number 1 or number 2? Number 1 is generally really boring and really weird, in my opinion. And it seems to be that it's the first Tetris. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that one. And it's really weird and very basic, where the American, or like not, yeah, the other one, the classic Tetris everyone knows, is a lot more interesting. And 100 Lines is basically just a really cool speedrun. Especially when it's at level 0 and you can kind of see how the game ramps up and everything. So between the two of them, I would honestly pick the Tetris NES, not the Famicom.
Yeah, like
Famicom is just kind of like an inferior game in every single way.
I was
basically.
I was gonna say
I think
I'll
that's actually. Well, go ahead.
no, you can go ahead, Lurk. I was basically saying that I would agree with Aries in this case because I trust his.
Yeah.
But I want to hear what.
Well, I think
Lurk
you're
has to
both
say.
wrong, because I think the Famicom is more interesting as like a less seen version of Tetris.
Less seen
Fair argument.
in what
Yeah,
way? Like
because like it's basically the reverse of what Aries was just saying. It's like everyone knows the like normal NES Tetris, but like who's seen Famicom Tetris? Not me.
It's true. I've never.
The controls are inverted.
Yeah,
just
you
turn your
rotate with
controller
like
upside down.
no, it's inverted in the way that to drop down, you actually have to press the B button.
Oh.
You don't rotate with the B button, you rotate with the D-pad. It is really fucked up.
okay. For now, I'm just gonna hold on to that since you're disagreeing. So we'll come back to that when we get to Razor Flames runs. Tetris Sphere, I cut out the 3-hour 45-minute one. I think FFR Pro submitted it in the past. We've looked at it, and it's just like it's too long. For the game, I think the biggest problem is
It's really just the length.
Razor Flame would rather us cut the Famicom version.
Oh well, yeah. If you'd rather, yeah.
That's fine.
There we go. It's cut. Okay.
We did.
Yeah. As I said,
Look at how eager he was.
for Tetris Sphere, as I said, I remember looking at the 3-hour 45 estimate in the past, and it's very very long.
Yep.
Because I
So
think
what's Rescue 1010.
1 second.
I mean, to be honest, that's how I feel every time I look at
So,
Sunset Overdrive. So
Rescue 1010
Like, that's why I don't
is
run it.
a category
I know.
where
that's what I'm
you
saying.
so yeah, the video's up. Basically, in Rescue, there's like a ball or a core in the middle of it, and you have to get enough of the Tetris blocks to disappear so the ball can shoot out.
Man, how
and
is
then-
Tetris Sphere even Tetris?
Dude.
It's one of those weird, like, as long as it has Tetraminos, it's a Tetris game, because the Tetris company actually, it is, you cannot create any puzzle game that has shape blocks made of four square, like anything considered a Tetramino. They own the license to make a puzzle game with that, so even though this really isn't Tetris, it still needs to have the Tetris name and pay for the Tetris license, because the TTC is it's what they are. But
how do you patent like rectangles?
it
Um,
it's
L
game
shapes.
design. They patented the game design of it. It's really strange how they did it. It's like trying to patent. Okay, so we have a
Okay.
character and we're running to the right.
Yeah,
It-
yeah.
It's a weird thing that they were allowed to do, but that's why there's like a chokehold on like back then you would have games like Tetrisphere. There was an era where there was so many different Tetris games, and now there's just like maybe one every kind of like console generation. It's because they have such a tight lock on the license to be able to create a video game with anything
Huh.
Tetramino pieces. So
yeah, I would definitely not take the 3 hour and 45 minute long. I'm sorry.
Oh boy, is that?
I don't even know about the hour and a half one, man. I mean, this
Well,
game
as I
is
said,
taking
for
my
for
brain out.
now, I think what we're doing is like just cutting down to a category or two, and then we can determine if we want to accept the run as itself later on.
as some like as the puzzle person in me, I would rather see the hide and seek one, mainly because rescue's already been kind of like done at other events and everything like that. So I think it'd be the more interesting one to showcase. But that's my vote. It's still very melt your brain, but it's a different melt your
Yeah,
brain.
so Raiku's leaving a comment here just talking about what was I gonna say? Like an incentive to show the like crazy end level of hide and seek, but doing the regular run. Um,
Ooh, that could
it's
be
it's an
interesting.
interesting thought just because it seems like the last level's like super crazy. Well, I'll leave a comment because I think that's probably the most likely. But yet again, when we kind of get to the FFR runs, we'll see. Because yet again, an hour and a half of this is a lot, but
Yeah.
we'll have to kind of figure that out later on.
I like puzzle games, but yeah,
Puzzle games are like a weird balance that they can't be too short and they can't be too long.
basically,
Or-
if they're too short, you can't figure out the mechanics, and if they're too long, or like
You
as
get
a
bored of
viewer,
it.
if they're too long, yeah, you get bored.
Next is The Legend of Zelda. Any percent or 100% no weapon A?
With only a 10-minute difference, I'd probably just throw that to the bid war.
Same.
I would
Everything to the
actually
bid war.
consider not having Zelda 1, but having the Zelda 2 randomizer.
Do
Well,
even
we're
ha-
just cutting between the two categories,
Yeah.
so like we're gonna make
Yeah.
a decision which game we pick later. Because we're about to go through the runners
It
and
works as an incentive for the categories.
Yeah, see,
you could even have a bid war between like Zelda 1 and 2 if you really wanted
and yeah,
to go
right,
that far.
right.
Yeah.
He was confirming in chat that's exactly what he was intending when he submitted the two categories. So there you go.
Yeah.
All right, leave it that way then.
Done. Okay.
We got Toy Story.
Toy
2.
Story 2. We technically have two runners for this.
Is it a race?
No.
No.
I think we've done a race, or not us. It was probably. I think I want to say the Jet Set crew had a race.
Well,
Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
Shadow
didn't-
Race time is 5 minutes better.
Didn't
than
Peter
Afro.
Afro end up quitting out of that race?
I think
Yeah.
so.
I thought I remember only one person finishing that race.
Yeah,
I don't know if you can confirm that, Shadow. Did Peter Afro finish the race? Yeah. Yeah, I don't think Peter did, so I think in this case I'm just gonna cut Peter out of this run just out of history.
Oh, okay. Zelda 2R was your main submission. All right, we'll look at it.
Okay. And then the difference between 100 and any percent. It's difference of 35 minutes.
Is Toy Story 4 worth watching?
It's Toy Story 2, Toy Story 4.
Yeah.
That's a
I
good
don't
question,
know.
actually. Can anyone answer that? Because I haven't watched
Even
it yet,
though
and I
I
have
haven't
Disney
seen
Plus.
it either.
I haven't seen it either.
I have not seen it.
Has anyone in chat seen Toy Story 4?
Help.
Would you recommend it?
Yeah.
The NASA staff.
This is
Like,
the
ever
important thing
since-
we're trying to figure out.
Ever since Cars 2, I don't trust Pixar sequels.
Hold on. Cars 3 was amazing. I'm gonna.
I
Oh,
throw
did
that
they
out there.
redeem
Cars
themselves?
3.
Wow.
I can't watch the sequels.
I have never watched Cars 2, and I probably never will, unless a miracle happens. But Cars 3, it's basically like what Creed was to Rocky. It is just so good.
But Cars?
But Cars.
Okay, just checking.
I was in the middle of drinking water. I was just like dying. Okay.
Yeah.
Cars
So I
3
think
can recommend.
so the reason I'd probably choose 100% over any percent for this if we had to choose between the two is simply because I know we've showcased any percent before. I don't think we've showcased 100% before. Maybe Shadowy
We
can
could slap the
clarify that
donation
for
and
us.
send them.
As far as I understand with this game as well, like the levels are wide and vast, and there's like this is the first. Is this the first level? Like
It's basically
remember-
Banjo-Kazooie but for toys.
I remember
I'd rather watch
playing
100%.
the Toy Story 2 demo on my PlayStation demo discs back in the day. This ages me, and the toy
Yeah.
Andy's house is a very vast level. It's the first level, I believe, but you can win by like completely not even going into the attic of the house or not going to this section. So 100%, you just see a lot more.
Yeah,
So
so
just,
so
like,
Shadoway's
the
left a
quickest
few
ones.
comments here. We haven't shown off 100%, but we've done any percent before. Also, the PC version apparent, which 100% is doing, has new tricks that have been discovered. So
Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure every single person that's spoken up so far has been in favor of 100%. So.
yeah, I think 100% out of the two we should
Donate.
choose. Not everything
No.
has to be a donation, Nick.
I see that
Alright.
there's some recommendations for Toy Story 4, so I guess I'll check that out. Thanks, y'all.
Same.
Do you have Disney Plus? Because
Same.
if so, you can watch it that night. You can.
Oh,
If you
yeah.
don't
can
have
watch it
Disney
right
Plus,
now.
I can. If you don't have Disney Plus, I have an extra
Be right
profile.
back. Gonna start watching Toy Story 4.
This is now a Toy Story stream. We're just gonna get our channel taken down for streaming Toy
Why
Story.
couldn't it
Well,
be
we
on
could do, like,
Amazon
a-
Prime?
We could do
Could
a
do a
group watch
watch.
where we all like hit play at the same time. We just don't
Yeah.
see the actual movie.
We'll just turn on our webcams and show faces of us reacting
Yeah.
to Toy Story 4. I haven't seen Toy
Yeah.
Story 3 though, so I'm already out of the. I'm
Oh,
out
it'll
of the
be
loop.
like a super blind viewing for you. You'll be really
And I'll
surprised.
clap when we hear Tom Hanks.
I'm not caught up on
Yeah.
the lore.
You're not up on the lore.
Survived. I'm clapping.
Okay, we've got Untitled Goose Game now. This is
yeah.
the last of our games. that
So
are
100%. Or do you make that an actual incentive?
I would do it as an incentive. It's only 15 minutes.
Take reverse area order.
Well, not like
incentive
technically
to
not
get
an
to 100%.
incentive, a donation war.
Yeah.
You don't call it a war because you don't want. It's not that you want. Why would you want people to bid between reverse order on 100
100%? Because
instead of versus just having it be like, here's a thing to get more Goose Game?
The comment just says
Mm.
honk.
That's a good comment.
does Tasselfoot still have the world record?
That's a good question.
100% yes.
Okay.
Reverse area order also yes.
Fantastic.
100%, but you do the areas in reverse order. Nice.
Oh wait, yeah, I didn't realize how
Yeah, they're pretty
the
different.
times.
Yeah, not only are they 15
Yeah.
minutes difference, they're also, but then that's why I'm not a huge fan of also putting them as like choose one and then bid for the other, because in my opinion they're two pretty different. Like normally that works when you have like any percent you're going to 100% because it's
That's
like,
true.
oh, you're showing all the same content plus extra. where this is like, oh,
That's why
you have two completely different types of
I
runs.
think it would be
a longer
interesting to
one.
see what people choose between the two runs to see in a war.
But
personally.
my problem is the
So,
15-minute
Did they submit
difference.
anything else?
I don't think
The
so.
Tassel, because what if we just split these up on like we take both because they're both not really that.
Oh
much
wait,
time.
there is another
Split
run.
them up.
There Tesla did submit another run. It's a 1.5 hour run of Gris, or Grease,
Grizz.
Grizz. Sure.
Agree.
So yeah, I think we should choose
Agree.
one between one of the two here. I'm not 100% sure which.
What did we have before? Because he did a run for us.
He's
that
done
event
both of these games.
that we held.
He's
Oh.
which Untitled Goose game or
No, which category? Yeah,
I can't remember which
because
category
he's done
he
runs
did
for us
before.
before. I just don't remember which ones he did.
Do you remember what marathon he did it at?
No,
It was a more recent one. It was like shortly after Goose Game came out. What did we have?
It was
Was it
Was it
Horror Thriller?
HTMM?
Yeah, I think it might have been HTMM. Let me check. Yeah,
2019
it was all main
HTMM.
tasks. It was all main tasks that he did. So he's actually done
okay.
neither of these.
I just want to
Well,
point
shit.
out. Look at that! Look at that amazing website that you were able to just pull up the whole playlist on the YouTube.
Wow, what a plug! Look at how
Are
beautiful
you not
this
subscribed to the NASA YouTube channel?
looks. Definitely not.
You and everyone else should fix that.
Dude, that's pretty poggers, bro.
Okay.
Imagine like just being able to go back and like go to an event's website and click the old events and have all the info still there.
Wow, look. Let's say I
Archived
want
for
to
your viewing
watch
pleasure.
day 3 of NASA 2017,
Look at that! It's so.
and
Oh,
then
the
click on day
schedule's
2
right there at the
instead.
top, so you can make sure you're looking at the right day.
Okay, I'm done doing that. Okay. So 100% versus reverse area order. I'm always more prone to 100%. Like you can never have too
Yeah.
much goose.
That's
Yeah,
what I would
if
say.
if
Like, why
only
don't we
wanna
just take
one,
100?
I would say I would take the larger estimate.
Yeah, because reverse area order is like I think the main unique thing about it is it shows off a couple glitches because you're starting at the end and then working backwards. But it's not showing off all the tasks, which I feel like they skip a lot of the tasks in the non 100%s, which is why I kind of like the idea of 100%.
I vote 100%.
Same.
Vote 100%, and I would like to comment that this guy looks a lot like LL Cool J.
Yeah, word.
It's 100% then.
Noted. Okay. We are now done for sorting by... damn, did I start sorting by runner? God damn it.
Oh my God, Joel.
I thought we were sorting.
This
by
can be
game.
fixed. It's basically done.
Oh, you just did in the wrong tab. Okay.
Okay, now to quickly fix this.
This is the worst. Wait, do you have to manually go remove them all now? Or like, what are we doing?
It's just spreadsheet magic.
Oh, I don't know how spreadsheets work, fam.
Okay.
That's not part of my job.
I
description.
basically wanted to resort because now that we've had it highlighted, I wanted to toss this in.
You need to remove the time from all the lower rejected.
Yeah, I'm doing that quickly.
I know how to make PowerPoint presentations. That's literally.
I
part
can
of my
fix
job
up the bid
description.
war ones later. Okay, here we go up to the top. So I think cut 2, this one actually will probably be a little quicker. What I want to do is I want to set a limit on max number of games we will initially take from somebody. I think 3 is a good starting point. No more than 3 games from a person. Because ideally, unless they're like a lot of really short ones where we can get them to show off a handful of them.
Okay.
Okay, so let's start at the top, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, there we go.
After you fix it.
So basically what we're going to do is for this pass, we are now going to check Dale Duck, we're getting rid of all your runs from this marathon. You now have 0, sorry.
Save the ducks.
We already have
If-
Untitled
if you were
Goose
to-
Game. It's
Yeah.
geese are better than ducks. I don't know.
As a Canadian, I'm gonna agree. Yeah.
It's just a fact. Yeah, the only thing we're gonna need to talk about, Dale, when it comes
I
down to
know.
estimates, is that sure he
I know.
only has 2 runs, but they're both 10 hours long.
No. So
I know
again,
why he's doing this.
Yeah.
He's left a comment before, just basically saying, I think Dale here, it was basically like he would prefer to do, if he's here, so I was gonna say, just to make sure I have this right, you would prefer to run Final Fantasy VII, but if your estimate isn't good enough for it by marathon time, we can replace it with Drakengard.
Yes.
Is that correct?
It is a Final Fantasy VII Remake submission with a backup Drakengard submission. So,
Hey, you gotta have your safety. I don't blame you. So there we go. So let's go through and we're gonna see anyone with more than 3 runs. So technically, we're gonna start off here with Crispy Hanako, who has like 4 games. We've got Life is Strange. We've got Pre-Flight Panic. We've got Catherine. We've got
Those are
Catherine
3.
Full Body. Technically, they're different, but kind of the same.
Yeah.
So I guess that's technically like 3 to 4 games. I think in general, when we're talking about Catherine, I don't know why I didn't read it out before, but I think if we accept 3 runs, we might want to cut out the story mode of Full Body.
Yeah.
Like take Life is Strange episode 1. Let me actually check Pre-Flight Panic. I want to just check that game out.
Game looks pretty lit.
It's already looking pretty cool. There's some people, they're being checked for seat belts.
You like check seatbelts and shit, yeah.
it's like tickets, please.
Like I said, it looks pretty
It's
lit.
just as long as it should.
Yeah, this looks like a game that's
Is this-
exactly
If it
as
was
long as
much
it needs
longer,
to be.
I would be like, no, this is actually kind of shit. But it's like
Or papers,
for
please.
the
I mean.
gimmick,
on.
it lasts just as long as it.
Is this the same dev that made the one game you ran, HTMM, the shit your pants or whatever?
Don't shit your pants.
Yeah, the characters look like almost.
To be
the same.
fair, it's just 8-bit sprites.
I know,
I
but-
doubt it. It might be.
Okay, so
Papers,
I
please,
think
yeah.
here cutting out
I don't know what tickets, please is.
cutting out Story Hard Remix, I think that's just a little too long for the number of, and I think the other ones look more interesting. So I think as a single cut for Crispy Hanako, just cutting the Story Hard. I don't know if
Okay.
anyone has any other opinions for that.
Yeah, I agree. Tickets, please is what your brain does when it's thinking about papers, please, but it's also thinking about travel. So,
I was gonna say D-Limes look like they had 800 runs, but it's actually just because we didn't cut down any of the Metal Gear Solid
Yeah.
stuff. I think
we need to actually do that.
I think so. Here's the thing for this one. I honestly think talking to D-Limes and getting their opinion on this, I think, is going to be the most useful thing we could do.
Well, I would have. Why did they
For
submit
Metal Gear Solid
2
1,
HD
all
and 2
boss, all boss, all boss is so much better.
Yeah,
Okay.
take
we
all
we, we have
bosses.
Naglaria in who now clarifies he likes all bosses too. Okay.
I'll go with take all bosses as well because they clarified that it wasn't a super glitchy run for any %, right? It's not like
No,
I'm,
no,
I'm
they
gonna
did.
miss
They
out
did
on a
say.
bunch of glitches,
They did
right?
say glitch through
Oh
bosses.
no, you did say
yeah.
glitches. Never mind. Don't get rid of that then.
Well, it's not
Fuck
like
them.
super, but there
I was
are.
gonna say like that. There's not.
I don't want to not get to see what glitches are in that game. I've seen that fucking. I've seen all the bosses. I beat the game. I want to see the glitches.
But other people haven't.
Yeah,
Well, they can go watch a fucking Let's Play.
Also, hold on. Did you beat them fast? Because this is gonna be fast.
Did I
Yeah.
beat them fast?
Yeah, a let's
I
play.
mean,
A let's
actually,
play isn't
yes,
fast.
I did beat Metal Gear Solid 3 on the easy
That's-
mode really,
that's
really
not
fast.
Metal
But
Gear
that's
Solid
not
1.
one.
You gotta-
It's not. It's not. You're right.
I
I beat
think
that normal.
I think two people who have seen
Dude,
the
you're
runs
you're being dumb.
and
I know.
like
I'm doing it on purpose.
all bosses. Yeah, okay, so we're gonna ignore Dark Fox and get rid of any percent. Yeah. As for why
No,
they
I mean,
submitted
I'm
the two of
not
them-
kidding about the fact that I do actually think that the glitch thing is more interesting. But if everyone else disagrees, then like,
Well, the thing is, if you haven't looked through both runs and know what glitches there are, I think two people who have seen and know kind of differences between the runs might have a little
Yeah.
more insight.
oh yeah,
there.
do you notice
All
how
Boss
I,
has been done a marathon in a GDQ by the French runner Slade. It was 2014, I think.
So it's
So,
it's
I
been a
want to
while.
know. I really just want to know what the difference between the two Metal Gear Solid 2 games is, so that we know which one to take.
One's
I
on
think
PC, one's on PS3.
Oh, okay. So take the piece.
Well, that
Then
doesn't
that's-
really matter for us because since it's not on site.
I would choose PC any percent normal.
Yeah,
PC any percent
Well, no.
normal.
What?
Why would you choose normal?
that's the shittiest option.
European Extreme. For Metal Gear Solid 2, it's like the least game that benefits from.
yeah, but
European
isn't
Extreme.
very easy the fastest at that point? Wouldn't you just want to watch the fastest run?
Oh yeah, whatever the.
Yeah, because
the
we have
fastest
we have
non-stop
European
is.
Extreme, normal, and very easy. Because that's the thing we needed to decide is like
Yeah.
HD versus Substance, and then European Extreme versus very easy. Because they are very different in that respects. Like European Extreme is like you have to get everything right and be very precise with it. Where very easy is you're just kind of like blast through
Or wait,
everything. and-
it says the PC version. There's fuck, I haven't seen it in a while, but it's like there's a reason to do normal, or like
Really?
the easier version over European.
Well, very easy, you mean, or something like that, or.
Whatever one you accepted. Oh,
Well,
man,
we have three different. So in total for Metal Gear Solid, there were 6 submissions. There was European Extreme, normal, and very easy for both Substance and like regular.
Yeah, this was kind of confusing.
Yeah, that's why in this case I think it comes down to like when it comes down to making a decision here, this is where it might be useful to get a little more info because the submission didn't have a ton of information on like why to choose one version over the other.
I think one category has the word extreme in it, and that sells me.
yeah. The
I kind of agree with you. You kind
like
of winning
like
me over there.
in my opinion, the big benefit of European Extreme is it's much more technical. Because like it's much harder to do a European Extreme run than it is to do a very easy run. So in terms of technical showcase, European Extreme would be better if done like correctly first try. It's also a run that if you start messing up and you have to restart missions because you get spotted, that it could get out of hand very quickly. But I think in general, yeah.
Could also just
Okay, there we go.
DLive
Okay, yeah,
pick.
thanks, Razor Flame for pointing that out. Yeah, it says in the submission here, PC version is the exact same run, just faster load times. So yeah, take the PC version.
right. That's why I voted for PC because I figured it would just be faster.
Okay, so getting rid of all the HD ones. So I think in this case, do we want to go with the more technical European Extreme then?
That one might benefit from a donation incentive.
My only problem about that is it's a 20-minute difference. So when we're talking about donation incentives,
It's
like
20
going from
I
one to the
mean-
other, but I guess it's not like that extreme. Okay, we'll leave it as a potential bid war.
Yeah. I agree.
Like the thing about it is,
but I don't know if you
all
should run it as
donation
a bid war,
incentives involve
or if you should
changing
run
the
it as
schedule.
a regular, very like it's just is very easy, and then you can hit an incentive. I'm not sure.
Okay, I'm just leaving notes for it for now.
Yeah.
Okay.
At least the difference here is only 20 minutes. I don't
Yeah,
know if
like
you
Red
remember
keeps
the
saying, like I
That's
feel
true.
like
Some of the other ones
Nintendo
were like an
makes
hour.
sense.
Yeah. Okay. So very
Yeah.
easy to EE incentive.
Yeah.
Okay. Um. Okay.
Everything
So
has to be a bit
we can
more.
go out of this now.
No incentives allowed.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Only bid
Chance.
wars.
So
So
what's up with this? We need to
this.
make some sort of decision because that's a whole hour.
Oh, this one. Uh.
Yeah.
Well, I'd rather just wait until we get to the final cuts because I want to know how much time. The big thing that it came down to for this one is I want to know how much time we have. So right now I just want to cut all the extra runs, figure out how much time we have to cut in the end, and then like if we have plenty of time, we can keep the longer one. If
All right.
we
Fine.
have time we need to cut, we can cut the shorter one. That one I think for
I mean,
now.
Talking from experience, we know that we're gonna run out of time. Let's just take the shorter one.
That's just the
Yeah, it's kind of you're kind of not wrong. Like we can always come back to this if we can't find anything better than this to add back in if we have extra time. But we won't. Like we won't. Isn't the VR mission supposed to be a bonus run or an incentive run?
Oh yeah, let me put that in.
Oh yeah, all missions tuxedo is good. Did some good shit.
Yeah, the only reason we didn't want to go with all missions is because it was an hour longer. So we were talking about
Yeah.
like all missions Raiden versus all missions Snake was an hour difference.
Yeah, I feel that.
I just didn't know if it was 1 hour's extra worth.
You're still
of being
getting
interesting.
something. I mean, it's still a ninja. Ninjas are cool. When did ninjas stop being cool?
Commodore
South Park
64.
episode.
Well, shit.
Okay, so let's so for Just Dance, did you say you want to go with the shorter one for now?
I would say yeah.
Yes.
All songs.
So Emerald
Okay.
Valley.
Yeah, so their submissions we've got 1, 2, 3, 4
I
games.
see All Boss, not Mulaka. From what I watched, Icy's just better than Mulaka.
So I
So
think
you
here
think keep Prince of Persia 2008, Assassin's Creed Syndicate, and Icy? Is that what you're saying?
yeah, I just want to quickly look because we haven't checked these other runs.
I mean, I've seen Assassin's Creed Syndicate. I've never seen the speed run, but I've seen the video game.
Is that the one for the?
Well,
no.
this is
wait.
just World War One simulation, so I take
Yeah.
it it's only a part of the game.
Okay, it's not the. God, there's so many Assassin's Creed games.
Oh yeah, dude, I just bought Odyssey recently. Mostly
I think-
because it looks really really pretty with HDR turned on.
I think this is an interesting it's a little more unique than some of the other submissions we've had.
Yeah, I mean, like I like Assassin's Creed though. I think it's solid.
Okay, here's Mulaka.
By the way, does anyone have a Super Nintendo that they can donate to Quo in chat? He needs one so he can run Daffy Duck the Marvin missions.
Why does he need someone to donate him something that costs like $40? He's not poor.
Because
Because
Lurk
in
really
Canada,
wants to get more runners for Daffy.
40 American dollars is like 500 Canadian.
Yeah, approximately 500,
Approximately.
give or take $500.
So yeah, Mulaka is like it's a 3D platformer. It's got some cool tricks. I guess for me, I prefer 2D generally platformers. That's basically it. It does look good. It's just
What's wrong with emulator, by the way? Why can't he just play it on an emulator?
He can.
Oh, well then do that.
Okay. Yeah, like Prince of Persia is always an interesting run.
Quo, are we adding a Daffy run for you to this?
Definitely not. You miss
Is Lurk
submissions,
gonna
you're
teach
out.
you to- Is Lurk going to teach you to?
Yeah, I think. Let
Lurk
me-
could do a panel
check
on
the-
Daffy.
Yes.
reasons.
Yeah.
There you go.
He could teach Quo how to run the game. Well, I mean, I'm very open to stuff like that. If people still want to propose stuff like that for maybe during a weeknight or something.
Why
For, like,
Daffy
2
Duck
hours?
is actually more technical than Super Metroid.
I believe you.
I want this pen. Why didn't you submit this?
He can. I mean,
No, you
can we
can't.
not
Or-
still take bonus content?
I can only really create bullshit. in
Yeah,
the
I
moment,
well the thing is
so-
I don't want to cut somebody's run who submitted to take in somebody who said
What?
they
We're
totally
not
understood.
talking about putting it on the 2 weekend schedule.
You're saying you
I'm
want to put
talking
it as
about
a
we could
weekday.
potentially do panels. Like the tech panel could be on like a Monday night. You know,
Yeah.
like as bonus
Well,
content.
that's something,
after
that's
the
something I
second
think
weekend.
let's focus on the part we're doing right now before we keep jumping
Well,
ahead.
that is in the schedule.
Yeah, right now we're talking about Emerald Alley's
That's true.
runs. So we have 4
So-
runs. We want to try and put it to 3.
I like Prince of Persia
Yes.
as a submission, and I also like Assassin's Creed. I mean, those are my opinions that I'll give.
I'm down with what I think Naglaria was saying. We take Assassin's Creed Syndicate, IC, and Prince of Persia and cut Mulaka.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
Okay. An Asper only has 3 runs. FFR has a lot more than 3 runs. And by a lot more than 3, I mean 5.
5. So, golf should definitely be in.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's
Like-
my biggest.
Like
yes
golf
for
golf is a
FFR.
100%.
That's
Yeah.
yeah. I think that's probably the best submission there.
So here's
I would
my
go-
call down to 3, which is so the golf for sure. 1 between
Yes.
Panel to Pawn, Pokemon Puzzle Challenge, Pokemon Puzzle League, and then Tetrasphere. Because I think Tetrasphere is the most different, and I feel like Challenge League and Panel to Pawn are all more similar. I'm not sure if I'm incorrect on that.
You are absolutely correct. They're all the same. They're all from the same series. I almost just blurted out into
I feel like
Polish
they've
there
been
for a
in
second.
almost like every NASA marathon too.
Yeah.
They also, they have been. So.
Some combination of these 3 games. have
Yeah, so I
always
think
been in.
only putting one of them is the is definitely.
I
the
will
thing.
tell you, out of all of them, Pokemon Puzzle Challenge is the most skill intensive, quote unquote.
Do
My
that.
vote-
Do that then.
Yeah.
My vote was going to be Jack Nicholas, Panel de Pon, and Tetrasphere, but I will alter it to the hardest one because I like stuff that's hard.
I bet you do. Ha ha ha. Okay, so yeah, that sounds good then. So we'll cut off League and Panel to Pawn for our first pass.
Yeah. I
So,
agree.
Finger
with-
quick.
What?
Yeah, finger quick.
Finger
Okay,
quick is
we've
next.
got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 runs from finger quick.
So
I would vote it to go down to Army Men RTS, Campaign Easy, Cabela's Danger Zones 2, and Ice Age, Scrat's Nutty Adventure 100%.
Yeah, I was also gonna lean that way.
I
Okay.
was gonna
let,
say
let me just get
Cabela-
my insight into here. 1 second.
Okay, so I think Cabela's is the strongest submission here. If Finger Quick's willing to use a webcam, which we can see he is.
Yeah, Walking
I do
Simulator.
not want walking.
Yeah,
Simulator.
I'm fine. I'm fine
I'm
with
not
taking that
interested.
out. Yeah.
I'm not interested. Show me
It's pretty
Cabela's.
epic.
That looks that's
I don't-
that's
I mean,
my
look at that line he's taking.
Oh my gosh.
See,
a game where
I didn't
that's all you do
realize
is just
that
appreciate.
existed. Like, why do I have to buy the Kojima game when that
there a
looked 10
webcam on
times
this?
better?
There's no webcam.
Well, the thing is I think
That-
these are taken at different points. So like,
Okay. Well, this is okay. Is he using like a gun? Is he pointing a gun at the screen and shooting? Because
It
I
doesn't
used to
look
sell
like it.
Cabela's with
It-
those guns at Best Buy.
it
and
definitely
that's
does
what
not
this
look
is.
like that's the case.
It doesn't, does it? If he's doing that, then I want it with a camera. If he's not doing that, then I still want it because
It's yeah.
It's Cabela's.
It's like analog
ridiculous,
control,
yeah.
not
Yeah.
like
is this like old? Yeah, this looks like old school Cabela's.
Yeah, this
Not
is
like
pretty.
new
This
school,
is pretty old looking.
Fancy peripheral Cabela. Yeah. I mean,
Okay, wait. Let me check the others.
yeah. What are the other options?
walking
Dino
simulator
Delivery.
and the Dino game are just not.
What's Dino
it
Delivery?
doesn't look that great.
What is it?
It's like it's just like mini games and you escort shit. It's
Is he delivering dinosaurs?
it's what I don't want in a speed game.
Escort missions and mini games?
And they're not like yeah, it's like
Well,
This is
There's
a game
not-
for 6-year-olds.
I was
yeah, there's not
just
much
about
like
to say
speed
that.
running for that.
Ju-
It doesn't
Look at that boulder. It's just clipping through the cliffs.
Yeah, Finger Quick enjoys running games like this.
I mean,
you
so do
think
I.
This thing produces blue milk like in Star Wars. Like
I hope so.
Camel was drinking.
I bet that shit tastes good.
It's probably just
What do you
milk
think it
that's
tastes
been
like?
dyed
Blue
by-
tastes good. Blue is a good flavor.
Like what,
Yeah, I
blue
just like
Slurpee?
hovering through this. I
Yeah.
don't think there's been
Like
that
blue
much.
Kool-Aid.
blue raspberry.
Yeah.
it's like very simple.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, I don't think there's enough to this really.
This does look pretty garbo.
It's
Like-
like blueberry
Like,
milk.
The
it can be
novelty
it can be
would.
fun, but it's like his other games are just
Okay,
better.
we'll
Yeah,
we'll, we'll
right,
keep
that
we'll
tech-
keep these for now.
That,
Skip
that
the
I might wanna watch a little more of that Cabela's before I 100% that. To be honest with you.
basically that game would be perfect for an in-person, everyone on the couch, and just constantly ragging on that game.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
yeah.
Great. This looks great. I'm a fan of this.
No, this I love tactics games. That looks awesome.
Cabela's, I'm still honestly a little iffy about to begin with.
Yeah,
Are
well,
you adding each 15 minutes to each? What are you
because
doing?
people keep telling me to remove the time, so I was just adding in a
Oh.
couple extras.
Okay.
You spiteful bastard.
Basically. Okay.
For strats.
Well-
Is it really? Does it come down to time?
I think it does.
For
I think
100%
I think
all
I think we
levels,
leave
so-
we leave this for now. But I think
Yeah.
it might come down to all levels just because, yet again, if it comes for an hour to cut,
Do we need an extra hour of scrat?
Yeah.
I can't tell if that's Lurk saying yes, we need an extra hour of scrat, or
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
Okay.
I already said that we should make him do the whole thing. So
yeah, let's.
I
let's
also could vote for 100%.
like I'd almost rather cut one of his other runs and then cut
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
levels to do
Yeah,
100%.
cut
You know what I mean?
Cabela's.
Yeah, like cut.
Cabela's and do the longest one of these.
Like I would
Let's
be okay with
sacrifice
that.
Cabela's for that.
I would
I'm
honestly
okay.
be super okay with that too.
I mean,
And
if it
make sure
comes
that you
down
put
to
it during
we could look at
graveyard.
that as an option. Maybe write that down as a
Done.
note.
What?
Yeah.
A note for what?
Sacrifice Cabela's for more scrat.
Oh, I already sacrificed it.
You did that.
It's been sacrificed.
I was thinking of it as an option in
Nah.
case we ran out of time.
Well, the thing is,
But
the
are
two
alright.
of them are pretty much the same length.
Right.
Uh,
and they're very similar games.
Yeah, like
right? I mean,
Cabela's and all levels is about the same time as 100%.
We got raided, by the way. Shoutouts to Tasselfoot.
thank you for the
Yeah.
raid,
Yeah,
Tasselfoot.
Thanks. We were
Yeah, that's
just
a
talking.
poggers.
Wait, Tasselfoot, now you're here. We were talking about Goose Game a second ago. Do you enjoy 100%?
Way to cut out there.
Yeah, you just died.
Well, the thing is, I probably
Hey, do
died
you
for
like-
you. The thing you have to remember
Does he
is I'm using.
prefer 100% over reverse?
Yes, I guess that's fair. But also, I'm using push to talk for you guys, but my microphone regardless goes through to the stream. So I cut out for you, but not for the stream.
it's good that you enjoy 100%.
Yeah,
That's
I
lovely.
guess in that case, we were trying to figure out the difference between 100% and reverse area order. We figured 100% looks more interesting. So we were probably going to
Wait,
go with
why
that.
wouldn't we just take both and do them on different weekends?
We discussed that and said that
you
it's
said
probably because
more
of the time.
Goose Game is worth.
I didn't say
Alright.
that.
That's fair.
I said
Go
we were
ahead.
going to cut all Dale Ducks games because geese are better than ducks, but
That's true, actually. Now I remember. You're right.
It's not
That
the
was what you were talking about.
food,
Cut it.
though.
So. let's see,
Coffee
Supernatural,
only has
that's
3
good.
runs. We're still at 3
Grimshin.
runs.
So
3 runs.
Grimshins, we need to look at. That's just going to be an incentive, right, to make
Yeah.
it harder.
Yeah.
Okay. So then.
So next is King Roads.
Yeah, King Roads, which is 5
Yeah.
runs.
So okay, so on this one, let's start there. Like, how memey is this?
It's a pretty meme racing game.
Yeah, so this is it's
Oh,
basically
boy.
it's basically the crash racing scenes.
It's man,
It
he
looks-
sure is going fast.
this is
Cars are
something.
bigger than the lanes.
Plus, like all the warping that's going on and everything.
Oh wait,
It's
there's actually, yeah, it's literally crash. He just did a crash spin.
Oh.
this is literally just crash.
Do we have enough games to have a crash block, and then we can have this in the crash
I don't
block?
did anyone submit crash?
No, it's a Crash block, but there's no actual Crash Bandicoot games.
yeah, there's.
Okay, so that game had some interesting. Okay, let's look. Here we
Yeah,
go.
there's
Mickey
the-
Mania.
I mean, I've
Yeah.
seen this game.
Standard Mickey platformer fare.
Yeah, this is a good game.
This looks like a legitimate submission.
It is.
I mean,
The last one looks like a legitimate submission to
M&M,
me.
yeah.
That's
But
To
fair.
be
I
honest,
mean-
all of these games are at least entertaining. Shell Shocked, I think it's too long for what it is, even though it is pretty fun.
Oh yeah, I remember. I've seen this game before.
It's it reminds me of WarioWare.
Yeah, kind
It's
of.
just like short, silly
Okay.
game.
The thing is, I feel like
Kinda like-
half the fun of this game is like doing the wrong stuff,
Uh-huh.
where like your mom's hiding and you're like you accidentally click where the mom is and you're like, why is she there?
I don't understand. I've
You're
never seen
basically
that.
trying to find your hidden video game, and it gets
All
more
right.
and more ridiculous where it's
Don't
hidden.
rely on my expertise for this one. That's all I'm telling you.
Okay, let's
Like
look at Sonic 3D Blast.
It's pretty funny.
All right. Sonic 3D Blast. I mean, most of these are fairly short, too. I would point that out. So we might be able to fudge the 3.
Dude, you live and die by the rules.
Yeah,
Ah.
are you saying you wanna break the rules, go too
Yes.
fast and loose?
I
Yes,
can fire
I
it right
definitely
now.
want
Made it
Sonic
where
3D
he is
Blast.
by,
I just want to be
like,
clear.
breaking rules, bro.
Like I want this game. So like,
I want 3D Blast too.
yeah. That's a just put that as a green.
I think what we should do is have Mom hidden my game, Sonic 3D Blast, and then a donation to choose between the Mickey games.
Which means
I
no
like that.
M&Ms though.
Yeah, you're getting
I
rid of
can live with
M&M.
that.
Nah, see, I'd rather get
I
rid of the
mean-
mom game.
I
than,
would too.
Like, I don't think that's, as I said, the most interesting part of the game is the incorrect clicks, and you're basically skipping all of that.
Yeah, I'm much more interested in.
In Crash
M&Ms.
Bandicoot, but M&Ms.
I'm being honest with you. Yes. I that 100% yes.
Yeah, and the two Mickey Mouse games are the exact same estimate, so I honestly think a bid war between the two games there would be totally, like, would work.
Do we have any other Mickey Mouse games, or is that it?
I don't think so.
I think that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
We've Chip and Dale.
Is that
Which
Mickey
would be
Mouse?
good.
Which is
No, it would be
explicitly
good to
not Mickey, dude.
It would be good to. Fuck yeah.
Mhm.
You should
Oh,
schedule them next to
bro.
each other. God damn it.
There's a Felix the Cat game.
So I will say this in terms of like the other games. They are all pretty short estimate. I'd be fine with keeping 4 games for now and then just coming back to it.
If
Me
we have to,
personally,
yeah.
my lowest of the 3 is the Mom Hid My Game. That's
me
also
too.
a 15-minute game, so it feels like cutting it is like if we're really looking for. Cause yes, exactly. We need some more bid wars. Yeah, it's always the safest option. You just bid war everything. That way, because bid wars are nice because even if somebody donates $1, the bid war is a success.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna advocate for M&Ms pretty hard here. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I want some memes.
Okay.
in
Next
my
up,
life.
we have Mash.
Yeah. So, all right. First of all, Streets of Rage 4, I'm just too lazy to submit. I could have just submitted that under my name and it wouldn't even apply to MASH.
Technically, it still
Because
would
that's my
because it's
only
a
run.
race, but
No, it's not. It's co-op.
co-op, whatever. It's a
Yeah, it's co-op. It's also my only run, so
yeah. Well, that's why out of
You
the
can
ones
just
I was
ignore
gonna
that.
cut, I wasn't gonna cut that one.
yeah. If I'm being honest with you, I don't know. I mean, Streets of Rage 1 is a really good run.
Well, there's someone else submitted like Blaze Trilogy, which is playing Blaze in all 3 Streets of Rage games. Well,
Did
the
they?
first 3.
All right.
Where's that at?
That they called it like the Blaze Trilogy.
Where is that, sir?
Yeah,
Let's,
that's interesting.
Who submitted it?
Fuck, I remember the game, not the person.
I see Blazing Chrome.
Sonic Man 2005. The
Okay.
Blaze Trilogy run.
Here we go.
So we could have a Streets of Rage blog.
Yeah.
Yeah, if that's actually the case, then I'd be good with cutting Streets of Rage 1 and putting this next to Streets of Rage 4.
Wait, what about Drakengard? What are we talking about?
The chat's just doing their own
Oh.
cuts.
Oh, okay. Dale's not reading.
But yeah,
So,
I
if
would
he's
agree.
gonna
Cut
play all
Streets
3
of Rage
games
1.
Yeah, I would do that because he's just you're literally gonna get to see Matt like.
Yeah.
Yes.
So one of the things we need to take into account is the history of Oni-Chanbara and how much money it made for pre-NASA.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
100%
Yeah.
in just on
This is
money
100%
raiser
in.
No,
alone.
we
Like,
know what the incentives for that is. Like,
you just gotta choose which outfit, and we're set.
Yeah.
yeah.
This is the one with the banana split surprise, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
Yes.
that was the
Yeah.
one. Yeah, that's.
Yeah, we're in there.
Well, I don't know if that's this one, but regardless, if there's an outfit choice, like definitely, that's good.
So
It's
I don't know how much room that really leaves for Drakengard 3.
Well,
I mean,
I
I
think
would
no,
cut
you
it.
cut Streets, right?
I think for now we
So
cut
then that
Streets.
gets us-
We come back, and when it comes down to cutting again, I think that would be high on the cut list.
Yeah.
Because we
Yeah,
don't
I think
need 2
4
Streets
is
of
a-
Rage.
It's a pretty good shoe-in.
Yeah, four for sure. Oni-Chanbara for sure. Drakengard 3.
It's really a time constraint thing at
Yeah,
that
I think
point,
it's a
then.
time constraint thing at that
I
point.
mean, if we have time for Drakengard, we could do it. But I'll be honest with you, it's kind of boring.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, Mash says this aloud, so
Peter Afro
think
has
we'll
4
understand.
runs. Which of his runs are we cutting, and why is it all of them? Actually, technically, he has 5 runs.
I mean,
So I would keep Mega Man powered up. I would
Yes.
keep
For sure.
Backyard skating, and I would keep. Well, I haven't seen Nezumi, man. I don't know what that is. But I was about to say Rosen Crulez Stilette.
Oh yeah,
Satchel.
backyard skateboarding looks pretty sweet.
Hold on.
Oh yeah, backyard skateboarding is lit.
I want to
That's
try
a
to
good
say
game.
this title because I've never actually said this title. Rosenkreuzes Salad Freudenstadtel.
Close enough.
Yeah.
I think it's Rosenkreuzstaletta, Freudenstachel.
It's German.
Stachel?
The Zs are
Stachel or
supposed to make the S sound, and the S sound's supposed to make a Z sound.
All right, so it's like Kreuzstaletta.
Yeah, it's
Is it hurting
German's weird.
people?
Actually, on the
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
does the
I'm sure.
SRL IRC still have like the RKS beamboard where they
I
don't like
imagine.
they just kind of shit post there. It's like the like the Cool Boys Club.
I'm sorry, Red. I can only do that for a subscriber.
Okay, so this basically just
Bro
looks
things
like
do
Mega
still
Man, but
bro-
with anime
Mhm.
girls.
Yes, but it's a very popular speed game. It's
That's
very
fair.
storied history and lore, and it's very deep. And my only question again would be, where's the commentary, Peter? As long as we have that, I mean, we're all good.
Yeah,
I
so
would
Yeah.
let Nezumi
I don't think
which is
Peter's
also
here
a
though,
Mega
so I'm
Man
not
game.
really sure who you're talking to.
I'm talking to Peter Afro. What do you mean?
Okay.
The past, present, and future.
Oh. Okay.
When you live fourth dimensional,
oh yeah,
time
they're,
is
they're
like
it's
nothing.
they're
That's
pretty
fair.
much all Mega Man games, I guess, when you look at it. It's
It-
basically
yeah,
which version
that-
of Mega Man do we want?
Which Mega Man
I-
do you want? And I want Toho.
I think
I
just
want-
the big
yeah.
war between the Mega Man powered up.
Hold on. I just want to point out that VOD had a NASA fund, and I don't think Peter Afro's ever been.
Yo, but
at
backyard
our events.
skateboarding is really freaking good.
I mean, maybe
Yeah.
he wanted to go and then just didn't go.
Yeah, my vote would be RKS, Mega Man powered up, Big War, backyard skateboarding.
I
Can we
would
get
agree
Toho?
with that.
Wait, say
Wait,
that
what
again.
happened to-
Which
Wait, so are we
three?
saying we're cutting Strider?
Backyard skateboarding,
Mega Man.
powered up Bid War, and RKS Rosen
Okay.
Cruise still.
Yeah, I'd be fine with that. And cutting Strider.
All right, go with it. I mean, I think Strider's.
Hmm.
Okay,
It was
I actually
Strider
might go
1.
for Strider over RKS.
Right. Like that's.
I
that's
feel
what
like
I would
Lurk's hill to die on is RKS.
argue. Well,
I won't die on the hill. It's fine.
So do you wanna cut it then?
I mean, we got backyard.
I mean, do you
skateboarding.
think
Yeah.
which one do you think will be more popular? That's what I want to know.
I want RKS.
What you want isn't answering my question.
Okay, if this was Strider 1, I would totally be like, no, we need it in, but it's Strider 2. I don't care. for
Yeah,
Strider
you also
2.
have to remember in what world aren't waifus popular?
Alright,
Exactly.
Fine.
Oni Chambara has proven that to us.
You're not wrong. Oh, I see.
And let's be honest, in the end, he's gonna not show up or not do commentary, and we're gonna end up having to replace all his runs anyway. So, all the time will be spent for nothing.
Hell yeah! Moving on to Quo.
Quo, yeah, he has a lot of runs. Oh boy. Honestly, so like when it comes to cutting stuff, my number one thing that I would actually suggest cutting is actually Pokemon Snap. Now, the only reason I say this is because I feel like he's done it in like literally every marathon we've had, and a lot of these other ones we haven't actually seen that much.
I'm just gonna point out my hill to
What?
die on here is I want Pokemon Stadium.
Splatoon's boring.
You
But-
don't like Splatoon?
No. I think it's really boring.
Well, it's Splatoon 2.
It's popular, but I don't like it. Calm down, Grace.
It's the second.
Calm
game,
down,
not the
Grace.
First one.
Yeah, it's the second. It's the expansion. Like I personally find Splatoon quite interesting. That would be the one that I would push for. Like if I had to choose three, I would choose Stadium, Splatoon 2, and either Mario Party 2 or Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. One of the two. I need to figure out which.
Because it would just only be him playing by himself, I would probably pick Mario Kart 8.
Yeah, I'd actually
Yeah.
probably agree because playing the mini games yourself aren't quite as fun.
I mean, we could cut Snap and we could cut,
Party.
yeah, Party.
Yeah,
and
that-
then
that's what I was
go with,
thinking.
Kart.
Yep.
Kart Stadium and Splatoon 2.
Okay, cool. Yeah, because the thing is like I think Splatoon is a very like it's a very popular game, and I think that's another thing you need to look into. Like, I think I enjoy watching Splatoon personally, and I think it's a popular game, which helps. Pokemon Stadium is just cool, and Mario Kart is yet again another one of these neat, especially retro tracks are kind of cool, no items.
Mm-hmm.
Raikou has only 3 runs for now, so we'll hold on to that. Razor Flame has technically 4 right now. So we have to look through this. So this is Demon Crawl, one of the Dr. Mario games.
Tetris.
There you go.
So the Nintendo
Tetris.
Puzzle Collection would go. It would. It's the same style game of the Puzzle League ones, like
I want
ones
Tetris.
that we cut from FFR. So I don't know if it would be an overload of paneled upon.
I mean, I'm
So
not
it's
gonna
like
lie to
split
you.
apart weekends or something.
Yeah, that's one thing
2
I was gonna
hours.
say. Over weekends
There's a
is
lot
one
of
thing we could
panel
look
on.
at.
Demon Crawl, I think, is the most interesting watch from this.
Yeah. I'm most interested in the Nest Tetris and Demon Crawl, for sure.
Nest Tetris is a fun.
Yeah, I think
short,
Demon Crawl and
skillful
Nest Tetris are the two that I would 100%.
Panel Upon is
go for.
only a hard sell to me because we've seen it so many times and it's long. But if we have the time for it, I'm okay with it.
It would definitely have to be on a separate weekend, like from
I would
FFR's run. That's for sure.
actually rather have the Dr. Mario than the Puzzle Collection.
Let me look at the puzzle collection.
Because the Puzzle Collection is paneled upon, and so
Yeah, it
I'd
is.
rather have I'd rather have a more diverse thing of puzzle games than having the same puzzle games. If we had to choose between.
That's fair, and I think when it comes down to this, there is a very big difference in what we have. So yeah, I'd be fine with that. We just have to decide which of the
Yeah.
2 Dr. Marios.
I want to go with the Tired and True bid war between the two, but
They're 15-minute
Or-
difference.
it's fine.
I-
So
Bid war?
budget for the hour, and whatever.
Yeah.
Bid war. Here we go.
Yes, I'm working on it. Bid war emote.
There
it's
we
gonna
go.
Happen.
There we go. Okay. Razor Flame said he'd prefer Dr. Mario and Puzzle League. What's the difference between the two? I actually want to give this a quick look.
Well, if you prefer Dr. Mario, then why'd you submit the other one?
So yeah, the Game Boy one is quote unquote harder. It also doesn't
Exactly, for options, and the option we took was Bid War.
Okay, let's see what
The
we
Game
got
Boy
here.
Advance one will be prettier and probably more balanced. Has a not stupid RNG pill randomizer and everything else. So
I
like
do
I said-
agree this one looks much nicer.
but Bid War.
Yeah. Because, like, come on. Everyone's gonna bid for the one that looks nicer, right?
Or maybe they want nostalgia, like
Maybe they want nostalgia. Maybe they're like me and they'll bid, for the thing no one wants because they
Okay,
like.
I'm
making
literally
people
just going to
happy.
keep it as Bid War for now.
Yes.
And we might change it later. Let's see. Okay. Retroverse has 4.
Let's have a bid war to see if it stays a bid war. Whoever subs in chat gets to choose.
Yeah, that's a good question.
I tried to think of the
Very
most
good idea.
sellout thing possible. and
The
I
most
was
sellout thing first person to sub gets to choose. If you're already a sub, too bad.
Whoever donates them, or excuse me, whoever cheers the most.
Can't we do a poll?
No.
Doesn't Twitch chat have polls?
Nah.
Well, yeah,
polls,
but
but
we're not-
polls
We're
don't
not profiting
raise
from
money.
that.
No,
Yeah,
you
we don't
can
make
do a
money.
sub only
You're-
poll.
You're, no, that's too much work.
Sub
If
only
you donate
poll.
$5, you can override one of our decisions.
Yeah.
Should have started that at the beginning of the
But-
stream.
yeah.
It's crowd control, but it's picking our marathon schedule.
Yeah, I already said if somebody donates $50,000, I'll cancel the marathon straight up.
That's true. I will too.
If somebody
that's
if somebody
fair.
proves
Start
they
reversing your
donated
keyboard.
$50,000
Save the children.
to save
Yeah.
the children, I will cancel the marathon right now.
Fact.
Is anyone familiar with the Dynasty Warriors games? I
Yeah,
am not.
they're basically
They're slashers.
you button smash in 3D space and you kill things.
Do you know if Five's a good run?
I
I have
Don't
not seen
know.
it.
Imagine
just-
someone donating $50,000 to charity to make you not play video
I've
games.
played Dynasty Warriors of some variant on the PS2 way back when PS2s you could still buy new in stores, and I've played a bit of Hyrule
I'm scanning,
Warriors,
but
which
my
is
internet's struggling
an
right now.
offshoot,
I see that.
and yeah, it's a fun game.
I blame streaming
I don't
as
know
well.
if the speedrun's good.
Dynasty Warriors? Yeah. I like Dynasty Warriors.
I'd say yeah, get rid of Unreal Tournament. As
Oh.
a
See, I don't know about that.
I was gonna say Unreal Tournament's probably a
Yeah, I
better
was-
speedrun.
But what's the
I was about to
category
say,
here?
Oh,
It's,
like-
The category though is kind of interesting. One second.
yeah, let me see. I mean, Unreal Tournament is
It's
banger.
the deathmatch game mode.
I mean, Unreal Tournament.
I'm not big on it.
What? Wait, what? It's PC, right? Yeah.
Poor
What are
man's
you not
Quake
big
Live.
on?
Poor
What aren't
man's
you big
Quake
on?
Live, man.
Is it? Hold on. Was Unreal Tournament actually cheaper than Quake Live back in the day? Couldn't you?
Oh no, it's very much like Quake Live was. It is the more like higher budget game, but it's just like it's a better.
Yeah, I mean, Unreal Tournament really picked off with 2004. That's where it was at. But the first game is still pretty alright.
I enjoy it. No children die.
Yeah, so this one just mostly looks like running around and shooting people while you wait
Yeah,
for the
it's
timer to
a
run.
straight death match.
Yeah, because it's first to X, right? For kills.
Oh.
Yeah,
I think so.
I think it's mostly just running around shooting AI bots, getting kills.
The thing is,
Hey, we have
know-
$100, 100-bit whatever currency Twitch uses. Cheer asking for Dynasty Warriors. Are we selling out the schedule?
I would
for that
sell-
little
Yeah.
amount of money?
For $1.
Yeah, for $1.
Well, let's look at the other games we have. What's Felix the Cat?
I will legit pay.
Felix the Cat should be a platformer.
I think like both the Game Boy games I think should be in. They're both just fun little games.
I actually wouldn't be against cutting Unreal Tournament.
Why don't you just pay yourself to run the game?
I
Grace?
think the thing it comes down to here is that we've got I think just the deathmatch is too samey. It's mostly just running around shooting at bots.
See-
There's no levels.
Yeah.
But there are different levels, but it's like there's no progression.
Yes, that's what I mean. I don't know if you have a
Dynasty
counterpoint.
Warriors kind of has Dynasty Warriors is kind of the same thing though. You're just constantly smashing things down. Like, yeah, there's probably cutscenes and stuff.
Yeah,
that
exactly.
happens,
There's a
but
little bit of a story
would-
progression.
I would argue that the shorter and potential skill of like 360 no scopes in Unreal would be more entertaining to a viewer than Dynasty Warriors. But that's just my personal opinion.
Yeah,
I mean,
but are there
both. I
360
want
no
both Game
scopes?
Boy games.
Yeah, but
Definitely
are
want
there?
both Game Boy
Yeah,
games.
I agree. Both Game Boy games go there. But if I had to pick between Dynasty Warriors and Unreal, my vote is Unreal. And if I get outvoted, well, that's why we're voting, right? So it's whatever.
Maybe it comes down to time restraints. If we need the extra time.
How about a
to
bid
take
war?
Unreal.
No. Sure, it's an
Yes.
hour and 15-minute difference in schedule
Perfect.
timing, but I think a big
I'm not
war.
gonna lie to you.
Dynasty Warriors.
I'm more
5
interested in
or
Dynasty
Unreal
Warriors.
Tournament, the big
I'm
one.
more interested in
Makes
Dynasty
sense.
Warriors, not Unreal Tournament. I'd rather watch a dude run around and sillily kill tons of dudes with a silly weapon than Unreal Tournament.
My thing is, I'm trying to see where the combat is, and I've been scrolling, and there hasn't been a ton of combat. Maybe I'm just
Yeah,
unlucky.
see, that would be a thing if it's just a
there we
walking
go.
simulator.
There we go. Now there's a lot of slashing. I found the spot. Here's all the people. The people are being ignored.
Huh.
Could just do just the Game Boy games.
No, see, I'd rather
That
like
is true.
well, the thing is, we can do
I
a
don't
final.
know if,
Like, I don't know. I
like
think.
they're like for time, they're the best submissions.
Yeah, this seems like a lot of
From
standing
this-
around.
Person.
Yeah, there's been a lot of standing around. And
Interesting.
not a lot of fighting.
Dale, what is your opinion? I am now officially interested in it.
Yeah, I want to know.
Yeah, Dale,
What you think?
you've subbed. Your opinion now matters.
Dale Duck would vote Dynasty Warriors.
All
Well,
right.
Dale Duck did pay for his vote. He's
So,
part
yeah.
of the oligarchy.
Yeah, we've had somebody cheer.
Officially, that Unreal has been cut.
Yeah, we've had somebody cheer and somebody sub to say Dynasty Warriors. I think we can give up enough of our moral integrity to take in Dynasty Warriors.
That's almost $5.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
really coming around to Dynasty Warriors 5. I think, yeah. I think that should go in instead. Yeah, I'm sold.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I'm sold on it. It's I don't know what it is, but something seemed to sell it for us.
Yeah, it's in the cart. I bought it. It's
Yeah,
coming home.
Sable's good. Sonic Man is
Sonic.
the next.
So,
Oh,
we
this-
know we
this
went
one-
to Blaze Trilogy.
Yes, the Sailor Moon one we
Um,
have to figure out because I think I didn't like highlight it earlier, but there were two different people who submitted
There are.
a
Yeah,
Sailor
we talked
Moon.
about that.
Yeah.
That was literally the first thing we talked about.
No, we have so the Spyro like what we had was the 80 dragons with a potential any percent bonus potential any percent bonus incentive on top of that. So taking
See-
80 dragons and then an any percent run after as a potential bonus incentive.
Correct. So, Sonic, so the other person that submitted Sailor Moon, how many runs did they submit? It is a different Sailor Moon, but how different?
Very different. I mean, one's more.
Air
of
Angel
like
has 2
a-
runs submitted.
So the Game Boy one is more of like a platformer, and the SNES one is more of like a beat 'em up, and it's actually really good.
Oh yeah,
Alright.
this is actually like a full beat 'em up.
Oh, do you have the wrong Spyro category?
No, I just discussed that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so basically, like, we haven't highlighted any of the accepted runs yet. We're just declining runs right now. But yeah, we decided to go with that if we're going to go with a Spyro, which is very likely, it's going to be the 80 Dragons run with the any percent run as a bonus. No, that's not fair. It's fair. We haven't highlighted stuff green yet, so it's understandable why you might miss it. Yeah, I think. So what are the other ones? I think the two we wanted to potentially decide between for the current cut is between
Puzzle Fighters.
Puzzle Fighter and Super Street Fighter 2, right?
My
Yeah.
vote is Puzzle Fighter instead of Actual Fighter, but that's me.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't agree with you, but that's cool. Because we have tons of puzzle games. We have 0 fighting games.
That is a fair point.
It's,
You just let in a Dynasty Warriors 5.
That's not a
That's not a
fighting game.
fighting
Horse
game.
fighting
That's a
game.
That's
Brawler.
that's that's not the same
completely
thing.
different. Like, what? That's not, what? I'm triggered. Next, he's gonna tell me that Streets of Rage is a fighting game.
It totally is.
Totally.
Shit. This is a fighting game, Dan. You're watching a fighting game right now.
Yeah, so that's why he's saying we should accept this as a fighting game.
As a fighting game,
Yeah. This is our
Yeah.
fighting game.
when brawling but not fighting. Dude, for real. All right, so like, okay, real talk.
Bid war.
I'm interested in. That would actually be a funny bid war. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Between a puzzle game and a
Yeah,
fighting
do you
game.
want the
Yeah.
puzzle fighter or the real
Do
fighter?
it.
Do it. I like that idea. Yeah, bid war.
It's the obvious answer.
Okay, there we go.
We fixed it.
We fixed it. Easy problem. Okay.
All right.
Let's keep going. That's it. Cool. Okay. Now we have a fun thing to do. Give me a second.
How
here.
much time is left?
That's what I'm figuring out.
Sum of column D equals sum parentheses D D colon D, or highlight it. Yeah.
I love how you're just like pseudo coding out loud.
Well, I don't really know much about coding, but it's like spreadsheets I've worked with. You'll need to have a parentheses, D comma D, and then
There we go.
parentheses, end parentheses.
We're at
selected.
162 hours.
Oh, wow.
That seems like a lot.
So that's not great.
Oh wait, there's
Well-
I haven't cut off some of the bid war runs.
I was gonna
Yeah.
Did you cut off
Co-ops,
tracking
co-ops,
guard
and co-ops and races. Well, co-ops and races I need to fix. So give me 1 second.
Did you cut off tracking guard? Because that is a significant.
Yeah, give me 1 second.
Yeah. I'll be back in a minute. I'm gonna take a break while you tally everything up.
Sounds good.
What are the total
Somebody
hours we're
somebody
looking for
yell
again?
at. We're looking for around 110. Somebody yell at me if I mess something up.
You're still, yeah, okay.
Okay. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, there's this other stuff to do that I'm too lazy to figure out right now. Okay, so that dropped us down to 142 hours. That was a big, so we still have, now we actually need to try. This is where the actual part that people oh wait, I didn't cut one of the yeah, I didn't cut one of those. We're down to 138 hours. So we might not actually need to cut that much. My reasoning for this is as so. I'm going to pull up a calculator quick. So if we went from, so currently, as I said, if my math was correct, if we went from noon till 7 p.m., that would be,
And Sable brings up a good point.
which is what?
The inside probably don't want to have that for the charity Save the Children, because the category is literally like kill the children.
Okay,
basically.
let's get rid of it.
Somewhat antithetical. Well, it's like you could have it like as a joke. It's like
Okay. We've cut one run. 136 hours. Okay, let me quickly do some math here because I want to double check this. So if we have all of Saturday, that's 24 hours. To 7 p.m. is another 12 plus 7 is 19.
You've lost me.
Yeah, basically it's 55 hours a weekend if we go from noon on Friday till 7 p.m. on Saturday, or Sunday till 7 p.m. on Sunday. Over 2 weekends, that's 110 hours. If we're willing to extend it till midnight, that's another 10 hours on top of that. We're up to 120. So I'd say I'd be willing to go up that far. Up to maybe max 120. That's noon till midnight. Like noon on Friday till midnight on Sunday. It's a pretty late end, but it's still, we're ending like before anyone.
Bad.
It's not too bad. And it gives us a bit of time to work with in case we're running a bit ahead or behind. So, now at this
16,
point, what we have...
44 to cut.
Yeah, so we have about 16 hours to cut. I think Drakengard we can cut from MASH. We said that was high on our cut list, so we're going to cut it.
Yep.
Now, oh yeah, setup times. I didn't take into account setup times. That's a good point. thankfully it's online, so setup times are not quite as long. We're talking about maybe 10 minutes, but 10 minutes per run. How many runs do we have here? We obviously don't have this many, but let's say we have like 130 runs. That adds about an extra 20 hours, yeah, so we need to cut down to actually about like 100 hours of runs. Yeah, so no, we need to cut about 30 hours. Okay, here's what I'm going to suggest, because a couple people, we haven't even looked at their runs. I think we should look at the people's runs we haven't even looked at and try and see if those are worth keeping. Because there are a few people who we haven't checked their runs at all. So I think we start with those people. Like going back up to the top, like let's just go through the whole list now of runs we haven't cut, and we'll kind of do a yay or nay, and start cutting that way.
Well, you still got Drakengard up for Dale, the 10 hours.
Hello.
I technically cut the time out of it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
So, okay.
Like
so,
I technically deleted one of the 10 hours.
let's start at the top. So Dark Souls 2, all achievements, yes. I mean, you're not going to get a no
Yeah.
from me for that.
The weekends the events are on. It is June 5th to 7th. June 5th to 7th. And then the 12th to the 14th. Yeah. Derlin said it. So wait, what does the estimate go down to if we cut off the farming?
No.
Oh, wait, or is that
That
something
is
different?
the right estimate.
That's the correct
estimate.
estimate? Okay.
He's saying that if we're not okay with him using Cheat Engine to make it a marathon-able run,
Oh, okay.
then cut it.
I see.
But
I see.
I'm like, no.
Yes. No,
'Cause-
we Dark Souls is nice. Okay.
Wow, cheaters in our marathon? I don't know,
Whoa,
guys.
That's unacceptable.
We've done that before already. Like, we've literally had Cheat Engine.
Aries, the question.
Dude, Lurk, I remember your run of Vampire Masquerade from 2017.
I don't know what you're talking about. That run was legit.
Yeah. Well, so Aries, the tech panel.
Yeah.
Are you fine with moving that to maybe a weeknight? Or would you
Yeah.
rather it be on a weekend? Because
mean,
we were
if we
discussing
have-
about possibly having weeknight content. Would you be fine with doing a panel on a weeknight?
Yes, I would. Hold on, I need to remember how to speak English for a
Okay,
second.
it sounds like a yes.
Yeah, that is the correct answer.
Good. There's not really anything other than speedruns submitted, which is kind of disappointing.
Yeah.
I mean, but that's cool.
Did you submit anything not speedrun related?
I can
Well, there's
still.
Just Dance. The Just Dance.
Yeah,
is
the
more of
Just
an
Dance was an
exhibition.
exhibition.
Oh, that's true.
And technically, this versus mode showcase from Catherine is an exhibition. Anyway, let's go through. And multi-world. I guess it's kind of a speed run, but kind of also a showcase. Okay.
True.
So let's
I was
go
gonna say
through
I would genuinely
single
be down
runners.
to do a D&D one shot one of the weeknights potentially. We'll
Yeah,
see.
that could be a weeknight thing. Okay. This run isn't
I'm
even
looking at
available.
Goemon. Yeah, so
Oh.
I looked it up. It's still available on Speedrun.
Okay.
If you look,
Oh, Gomber?
Yes.
Yeah, Goemon's good.
I
Oh,
like
yeah.
yeah.
Goemon's cool. But
Goemon's
it's a really long platformer. Oh, you're looking at Sailor Moon.
I'm
I
looking
think
at
that
Sailor
should just
Moon because
go
the
in.
other one wasn't available.
I think it's just short enough that like.
That's the
why not?
color Game Boy I had.
Yeah, because this is what's it called? Yeah, it's 10 minutes. Yeah, that's definitely not worth cutting. It looks interesting enough.
I would
The other
rather
one's a
keep.
bit-
Oh, I didn't cut this Metal Gear Solid 2 PC run. I need to cut that. That'll save us another hour.
Personally, I would rather keep Gomon in for now and cut it later.
Okay,
Me too.
so it'll
Yeah,
it'll
same.
survive our first pass.
Okay.
My logic behind this is that taking the time to set up for a 10-minute run, it's so much better if they're doing an hour run and then a 10-minute run.
That's fair.
Do you know what I mean? because you only have to theoretically do a little bit of setup the second time.
Okay, Christian Echo. We've got the 2-player 1 controller, Babel Pairs, the Versus Mode Showcase Exhibition, Life is Strange Prefect Clinic. I think those are. We already looked through these. I want to jump to people we haven't looked at yet.
Well, are we for sure taking the Final Fantasy VII remake?
I'm definitely good with taking it. I think one big benefit it has for it is that it's very new. And the backup is Drakengard if it isn't. I do think Final Fantasy VII Remake would be a good draw to the marathon.
So here's the thing.
It's a very long
And
road.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this, right? Is that okay? If Final Fantasy VII Remake is happening, for
I
sure,
know where you're
right?
gonna go.
So let me yeah. If Final Fantasy VII Remake is happening for sure, then that's a pretty obvious finale game on one of the weekends, or opener, or what have you, or prime timey, whatever you want to call it, right? That's an obvious crowd draw, right? But if we slot that into like a big, long, prominent slot, and then you don't learn the game, and it turns out to be 10 hours of Drakengard.
I would keep FF7R, but if it's gonna switch to Drakengard, I would cut it. But that's me.
Right. That's the thing. I think we should just cut Drakengard and just say either do Final Fantasy VII R or don't. Dale, you're here. What are your feelings about this? Do you feel
What's
confident?
his name? Darkspine Sonic's tweeting about like finding something big in FFR 7 remake.
Yeah.
So Dale, go get the time reduced down past 10 hours. Thanks.
Well, the time is already below 10 hours. So if you look at the leaderboard, which is what's linked, if you go up to the submission and click the link,
Yeah, but
it'll
10
take
hours
you.
still be the estimate.
Yeah,
I
the
don't
current actually like 4 of the runs on here. Do you have a PS4 Pro or a PS4? Because if you have a Pro, it sounds like it gets a lot easier.
Well, yeah, because you have an SSD.
Yeah. Oh, so you get the slower run.
I mean, he could just go buy an SSD.
I know. I'm just saying in terms of the difference between these two, because even the SSD on here, but this just may be a slower runner. But it seems like the PS4 Pro load times are significantly faster. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
But
Yeah,
this is one of
who's
those
the
things.
best
It
girl
seems like the
in
top
Final
runners are
Fantasy
around 10
VII?
hours. And what I thought the point you were gonna make, because this is actually a notable thing, is that there was somebody else who also submitted, I'm pretty sure, Final Fantasy VII.
So here's the other thing. No, that was Final Fantasy 14. So here's the other thing, and Final Fantasy
Oh no,
Lightning.
I was looking. Yeah, I was
Okay.
looking at Lightning Return. Sorry, that was it.
So here's the other thing to consider as well. If we take this with a 10-hour estimate, and then like between now and then, this suddenly drops down to like a 6-hour game.
Well, the thing is, this
That's
isn't.
slightly awkward.
It's not really a problem, though, in my opinion, because if we put it as the last run of a weekend, it just means we end early.
Yeah.
Like, there's not a problem with ending a little early if it ends 3 to 4 hours early. If we're currently now moving it to end closer to midnight, ending at 7 p.m. is not the end of the world.
How did it do at ESA? It was an ESA online marathon, right?
That I'm not familiar with, like how it did there.
I think it did relatively well, considering the only reason it happened was because of like some bid thing.
Oh,
So,
Joel, I feel confident in telling you that you can lower the estimate for Streets of Rage 4 to like an hour.
I'm pretty sure it's already an hour.
If it's not, you can.
Oh no, it's an
Do
hour and a
that.
half.
Right, you have the old version because he updated it, but you didn't update the spreadsheet.
Okay, so it's an hour?
Yeah,
Okay, it's down.
because we've finished the last 2 runs we did were under an hour, and we're doing it quite sloppily. So
Okay, cool. That saves a little bit of time.
to be fair, the game
Okay,
came out
back
last
up.
week.
Lightning
So-
Returns, Final Fantasy 13.
Red is cut. Yellow is what's yellow?
That's a good question. Oh, that was like a conditional.
Oh, okay,
Um,
orange is bid
Orange
war.
is bid war,
/
blue
incentive.
is bonus.
Sorry, blue's incentive.
Yeah, blue's incentive.
Right. Bid War. Yeah. What are you looking at now?
I
Oh,
was
Lightning
just-
Returns.
Yeah.
Lightning Returns is apparently actually the best game of the three, and is actually interesting. Apparently, from what I
Yeah,
understand.
I'm perfectly fine with keeping that one in.
Yeah, same.
Okay, who else haven't we looked at? A Nasper.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, like these also come to the
I wouldn't
points.
cut any of those really.
Like as I said, here's what it comes down to when it comes to so orange doesn't necessarily mean the game got in, it just means we're currently we're thinking of it as a bid war if it does get in. Currently we haven't technically confirmed any game yet. There's a few here that are pretty much guaranteed to be in, but we haven't locked. We're basically eliminating games, then whatever's left over is in.
Yeah.
Let's keep up with Final Fantasy and go to line 96. Final Fantasy. I can't read Roman numerals right now. Shadowbringers.
14 Shadowbringers, yeah.
Yeah.
So here's this is kind of ties into a point I want to make, which is we've had a handful of there are a handful of people here who submit in a lot of our marathons and that's why when I was at Anasper it was the point I was going to make, where it's we've had these runs shown at a lot of our marathons including NASA 2019. So it comes down to the question of, do we want to re-show off all those runs again in 2020?
So when it comes to Shadowbringers, that's not the same run.
No, and that's why I was talking to it about when we were at Anasper as opposed to here.
Yes.
Yeah.
When we were in Anasper, the run there I would consider cutting because I feel like I've seen it at a lot of our events would be Metal Slug.
Yeah, so that's why I was gonna say it's I would be fine with keeping maybe one of three. I don't say we get rid of all three. Maybe choose the most interesting of the three or something like that. Just because we have, yet again, I'm pretty sure almost all three of these runs have been shown at pretty much all of our marathons.
I get where you're coming from, but I also kind of would argue that they're all shorter, so we should start looking.
You say shorter, we have 1 hour, 1.5 hours. I wouldn't call those short.
I know, but we've got a lot of runs that are
Metal Slug.
But anyway, I would cut Metal Slug, and then if you want, we can figure out between the two longer ones which to keep, between Channelise and RBO.
As a first pass, I'd be okay with cutting Metal Slug.
Yeah.
That's the one I'd say I'd want to keep. Shit.
Well,
okay,
we've seen it a million times. Because
to be fair, I've seen the other ones too.
Yeah, and it's fucking great every time.
You're not wrong.
Okay, let's come
back to
there's
some larger estimates that we can look at.
That's what I was getting at.
Slug. That's why I brought up Final Fantasy. That's the only person's run though. So
yeah. So another thing I was looking at, I just want to run here because, well, this actually isn't useful because it's not colored. I just wanted to see what the really long runs we had were that were longer than let's say 2 to 3.5 hours.
Yeah, I mean we already cut a bunch of them. But
yeah.
Well, we've got the 7. We've got the Duo Fecta, which is 4 hours basically.
The Last Guardian, Sable has other runs like Spyro and stuff that they can do.
Yeah.
Yeah, Skylander's the long one, but yet again, we're only taking the shorter of the two estimates. Jet Set Radio Future is 3:15. Drakengard we already cut. Just Dance we cut the longer ones. Witcher I saw in there, but yet again, I think that's a pretty unique one.
Yeah, I'd keep that. I will fight to keep that one.
Which one?
Okay, let's go back this way.
But how about like Raikou Rider doing Zelda 2 for 2 hours?
Oh yeah, well Raikou said he personally when he was
drop both Zelda one game drop Zelda 1.
Yeah, he said he'd prefer Zelda 1 be cut. I'm fine with cutting Zelda 1 first off the bat.
So let's just axe it then.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay, that saves us another 55 minutes.
Yeah, because I know he wants to do the rando.
Okay, let's go back up because we're kind of going.
Well, do we want to keep Zelda 2 in as well then? Because it's 2 hours.
Well, that's what
they
specifically wanted to do.
So one thing, sorry, I'm going back up again.
What about Pokemon GSC?
Where is that? Sorry, which runner?
115 Pro Infernate. They also submitted VeggieTales, which sounds pretty epic.
Okay,
That
let me
does
look at
sound-
this Pokemon. What's GSC?
Well,
Gold,
Oh, Gold,
Silver,
Silver, Crystal.
Crystal.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're starting with a custom starter and $500,000. Or no, that's a different thing. Sorry,
I just don't like Pokemon games.
So I like Pokemon games, but starting with a Mewtwo basically means you're gonna face roll over everything.
Yeah,
I want to
It's
look.
kind of
I want to
weird.
look at the submission. I want to look at the submission notes.
Oh, is it like a level 2 Mewtwo? Is it like
Yeah, I think it's like a specific save file hack where you start off with a
Yeah,
Mewtwo.
you start off with Mewtwo, and it's basically saying that it's like, oh, it will be there are toughnesses that
yeah,
Mewtwo
so
has
it's
to
not
go
like
through.
a level. It's not like a max level. You just wipe everything.
No, it's still like a level 1
Okay.
Mewtwo or something, I think.
it is still a Mewtwo, to be clear.
Ugh.
It is still
Like VeggieTales, I want, but I just don't want any Pokemon.
Listen, that's good, but I like
Pokemon can make money.
Pokemon can make money. I like Pokemon. Whether or not I like 4 hours of this specific Pokemon, I'm not sure. Is there anything else we can look at?
Is there
I mean,
any
I guess there's not anything else we
Pokemon
can.
is
there's
like-
there's no incentive lists. There's no
See, that's lame because
Well, there's Pokemon Red and Blue also submitted 2 hours by Conception 2, who also
Right.
submitted Harry Potter and this cartoon summer resort.
Sorry,
Which I
by
have no
who?
idea what that is. Conception 2.
What line's that on?
If you're sorted
a
by
K.
runners in line 87.
Oh, with a
Yeah,
K. Okay.
Yeah,
Yes. Think Donkey Kong.
Yeah, because I don't think we necessarily need 2 Pokemons. I think we can take just one, honestly.
Yeah, and if
I'd
we're gonna
rather
do
have red
that,
and blue.
we'll take the smaller estimate too.
Well, not even just that, but I kind of like Red and Blue more.
Well, yeah, everyone kind of likes Red and Blue.
it has more
And they
nostalgia
have
for a
bid
lot of
wars
people.
listed. There is an incentive listed to catch Mewtwo Mew.
Did somebody
Yeah.
say bid war?
Yeah, did
Bid
somebody
war?
say bid
Bid
war?
war?
Yeah, so
Yeah,
I
I think we take this over the other one.
GSC, yeah.
I agree. So,
Plus that saves us almost 4 hours, which is
Yeah, and if we
A
want to
big
stick with
save.
Conception for a second, do we want this other Harry Potter game? Where we're gonna do that into the one that Hot Coffee's doing?
let me take a look
I
at
think
it.
it'd be a nifty block.
It's surprisingly interesting for a Game Boy Color game. Because like a lot of like the like handhelds have like a
Dude,
like shovelware type games, but it's
Harry
actually
Potter.
like
Like
it's like a pretty decent budget.
I was
like,
gonna say
game.
also a
got
person
a
who comes
robot.
dressed up as Harry Potter to a run, like that's already a strong
He's got
sell
dedication.
for me. Yeah, that shows that
He's
it's a
gonna show up
dedicated
on
runner.
time.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is a person who will show up and rep the game. I think we keep it in just on that
yeah,
alone.
for sure. I agree, especially if they're willing to dress up on webcam like that.
There you go. Hot tip for everyone in chat: if you want to impress NASA staff, dress up during
Yeah.
another marathon run.
Hot tip for everyone in chat: if you want to impress literally anyone ever, dress up.
If you want another example, find Laz's run
Yes.
of whenever he wore that Garfield suit and the Mario outfit.
Yeah, the Mario.
Oh, what was
Mario.
the MHC crew dressed up as like Pokemon girls in
Oh yeah.
2014?
Yeah, I got you, Dale.
Okay.
Except for
Your
Dark
DM.
Side Sonic, he wore like a super snazzy suit.
Yes, yeah. If you dress up as anything, we get a thumbs up. Okay. So we got. This is also interesting.
Don't
We have
listen to Keto because we need to follow the terms of service.
yes, don't dress down on stream. We very much will frown against that. Off stream, do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Okay, what's this Cat Quest 2?
I think it's a quest of cats.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I-
Why don't you click on it?
I generally,
I believe that's a
We
puzzle
just like let that
platformer.
one slip through. Apparently.
well, the thing is, we haven't looked at any of the games we haven't looked at any of the games
Oh.
like with single or like 2 runs because we've
Huh.
kind of ignored them for now. So I feel like we should do our due diligence and at least look at these runs because if they're pretty bad,
This
it
one
might
I
not
think
be
I
worth it.
watched a bit of, and it was all right.
This looks fucking.
It's not
good,
like
dude. Look at that
Great,
line
but
he's
it's
taking.
I do
didn't
actually
regret
like.
watching
I like the graphics.
That's yeah. The aesthetics of it are pretty nice.
Yeah.
Dude, it's cats on the internet.
Dude, I really like the overworldy thing. I like that. That's cool, fam.
Okay,
How
let's
come
keep
they
going.
don't have like human faces though? I thought.
I don't know.
Here's a 2-hour run, Kingdom of Amalur.
Yes. That's a really good game.
Yeah, this looks. It's basically Dark Souls.
This is dark. Well, this is a really good game. It's not basically Dark Souls.
No, I know.
but it's
I
a
just
really good game.
they were running around questionably dressed. It's Dark Souls.
They were rolling.
Yep, they were rolling. Look, he's running into a wall. That's pretty Dark Souls to me. He just slammed the ground. Yeah, that's what you do in Dark Souls.
I really genuinely am a big fan
Yeah,
of this game.
This game looks pretty
Not gonna lie.
legit. Okay, what else do we got here? In Fire X Crimson Clover World Ignition.
I mean, Breath of the Wild is actually Dark Souls. Like, that's not an original thought. There's been articles written about this. It's funny.
Oh, this is like Toho style game. I'm down for this.
I believe this is
Oh.
a exhibition, actually.
Yeah, I'm always down for these types of games.
Hell yeah, gamers, let's do it.
Yeah, it actually is listed as an exhibition. I'm very down for that. Okay, let's keep going. Cuphead is like pretty much guaranteed a yes. Cuphead's always a good watch. What's Blazing Chrome?
Mhm.
Oh, to be
Blazing
fair,
Chrome is kind of like a new Contra. It's really good.
yes,
Really well.
I watched Lurk play that game. Also, it's on Game Pass, so you know, if you have Game Pass,
I do.
you
Okay.
can play it.
Kotoko's 2
Also-
runs. We have Ball Race and Risk of
Streets
Rain
of Rage
2.
4 is-
What's Ball Race? Risk of Rain 2 I'm down for sure.
I am not really into those games, but I understand that they're popular, so I'm down too.
Oh, Ball Race is cool. It's not like
Oh.
it's not the
Monkey
Marvel
Ball.
racing games. It's like a straight up 3D platformer.
Yeah, it kind of does look like Super Monkey Ball.
But it's
But, like-
it's not. I
But
guess.
like
Wait,
but
are
like
you playing as like
adventure
a
mode.
goat or a sheep?
Yeah, I
Or-
don't understand.
I see
that a
horns,
boss?
Don't
or
ask
what I
too many
think are
questions.
horns. Like Larry, it sounded like you knew what was going on in this.
I
game.
just watched the run. It looks like a sheep thing, but I don't know.
Yeah,
it's a
looks,
ball.
look,
it's
I,
it's a
I saw
ball.
one level and it looked pretty legit.
Dude,
I'm sold.
Yeah, this looks like sort of Super Monkey Ball adjacent.
That looks cool.
Okay, who else
I'm
haven't
down.
we looked at?
So,
L-
what did we look
we
at?
have Castlevania 3. Castlevania is always as solid.
What about Super Metroid Ascent?
Yeah,
It's
so
like a
here
brown
here we
hat
have
thing.
here we have 3 Linkomeister runs. Hello Kitty,
Yeah.
Metroid, and Super Metroid Ascent. This is one where I don't
So
know if
what-
we need both.
I mean, we do have 2 weekends, so it's not like, you know, we could.
But we
have one
also
on
have
one on
Metroid
the other.
low
But
percent.
That's what I'm saying. We can have one on one weekend and one on the other.
No, but I'm saying there's a Metroid Return to Zeeb Zebs and Super Metroid Ascent, and then we already have a Super Metroid low percent, is what I'm saying.
I'd
Is
keep
Metroid
Ascent and
Return
cut
to
the
Zebs-
regular.
I don't think Metroid Return to Zebs is Super Metroid.
Is it just a bait? It definitely looks like it.
Is it Super Metroid?
Well,
Okay.
there's definitely
It didn't
a
say
Metroid.
Super? It didn't say Super, so I thought it was like older
It looks
Metroid.
like it's another.
Yeah, it could be just like an older Metroid, but it definitely
No, this is
looks
Super Metroid.
Metroid adjacent.
I'm
Okay,
pretty sure.
let me check the submissions here.
No. That's fucking Zero Mission.
I was gonna say that's
it?
Game Boy Advance. Yeah.
It must be a hack of Zero.
Yeah, so Super
Zero
Metroid
Mission.
Ascent is a unique ROM hack of Super Metroid. Metroid Return to Zibs is a ROM hack of Metroid Zero Mission, and then Hello Kitty is described as a great meme game.
So why don't we cut Metroid Ascent since we have Super Metroid and keep the other ROM hack?
That's what I was thinking too,
Yeah, keep Return to Zebs. And
Yeah.
then keep Hello Kitty.
Yeah.
because then that will cut. It will also cut the 1 hour 22, which is the longest of the
Yeah.
three.
Yes, that was kind of the point.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, moving down now to Mr. Mary. We've got Auto Modelista and Half-Life Blue Shift.
So I mean, what is Auto Modelista?
That's what I'm looking up.
It's like a racing game on the PS2 that's like cell shaded.
Ah,
It's not like Gran Turismo. It's similar vein of like you get a bunch of cars. Do like a bunch of like
the art, yeah,
pseudo-realistic-
the art's pretty neat on
The
this.
art is the best part of the game because the actual gameplay is just like pretty standard.
Yeah, the art's pretty neat. That's for sure.
Is it
How
like
long
bad
is it?
Initial D?
No, it's not.
It's
It's not much drifting.
an hour 25.
It's more like it's pretty standard driving mechanics.
Oh. It looked like one that you could
the
drive.
art style is really really good, but I don't think it's good enough to like.
Yeah, this
I
is
don't know. Because it's like, I like it, but I don't think it
Like,
I think it's like an earlier chopping block sort of run.
yeah, because I'm looking at this and like it doesn't look like you go crazy fast, and I don't know.
There's no other cars and.
Yeah, like there's a couple.
There are.
Are there?
You just
I
you just
know,
like
but,
stomp
like,
them.
Yeah, that's what I mean. There's no like ambient cars and stuff like that.
it's just a dude driving around.
It's
But yeah, it's
driving
like
simulator.
the only real reason to accept this is the art style, which is great.
See,
but
I don't know if that's
it's
enough.
like that's enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Blue
I might
Shift
cut
is
it.
pretty based.
Yeah,
I would
Blue
cut
Shift is. Yeah, I'll cut Auto
Blue Shift is
Modelista.
awesome. Most Source Engine runs are entertaining.
Kirby's Adventure, like that sounds pretty great regardless. Yeah, like you can never really go wrong with Kirby as a run in general.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, okay. I
That's
think.
such a weird capture.
Yeah, it is.
Dark Souls, I think everyone hates that. I think we can just get rid of it. Like Knack's
Yeah.
pretty unreliable.
Yeah,
I gotta
he's
say,
never been to one of our
Never
events.
never been to one of our marathons,
Never
don't know who he is.
supported.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Never supported us at all.
really looking forward to The Sims 3, $500,000 in the bank.
Yeah, I mean, like that's actually.
Yeah, let's keep going down. Sonic
Oh, yeah.
CD.
No,
What?
no. Why would you cut Sonic CD?
I meant just to, like look through. I was just looking through.
Oh.
them. Yeah, Sonic's pretty great. Pringles is pretty solid. It's a very short run. I wouldn't
So
cut that.
we're at 123.30.
Yes, as I
Yeah.
said,
So
we need to get down
3
to.
hours and 30.
So not really, because as was mentioned, we
Oh,
actually
less
need to get
setup
down to
times.
100 because of setup times. So we actually still need to cut about
Oh.
20 hours.
Again, I don't think. So first of all, I don't think you need 10 minutes per run.
Like I'd rather leave 10 minutes per
I know,
run than not.
I know.
need it.
I'm aware, but I would also point out that I think that what we should do is actually find out how many runs we have for setup time.
Yeah,
not
I can
like,
I can get that number in a second. Let's
Right.
let's just finish through this and then I can get the exact count.
That's what I was
What
getting
about
at.
The Last Guardian?
So what is that? Is that the one where you're playing as like the kid with the thing that follows you around?
Really descriptive. I know
Yeah.
exactly.
I
what you're
the
talking
thing
about.
is funny thing is I know exactly what you're talking about from that, but no, I think I think we should just keep going down just until we hit that. just because I want to go through like Gothic and The Sims 3. Those both
So
seem fine.
I like Gothic and The Sims 3. Yeah,
Yeah.
I like both of those.
Yeah, they seem good.
VeggieTales.
VeggieTales we
that
looked
sounds hot.
was good.
Yeah,
And
and that's not
Kata-
Electra.
Katamari Damacy is solid. So is Castlevania.
So is
Quo-
VeggieTales a race?
I guess technically yes, it is listed. Let me actually check it.
That's baller.
Yeah, it's a race. I'm fine with that.
Perfect. All right.
Now, did you remove one of the times though?
I don't think it's double submitted.
Yeah, I don't think there's 2 submissions. Most people
Oh, okay.
didn't do that.
Yeah, it
I mean,
wasn't double
judging from
submitted.
where we're at. The Last Guardian is the next game coming up that has any significant like time thing that we didn't already say we wanted in.
Yeah. Well, I just want to, because the thing is, if we can like cut even 30 minutes, like that's an hour down, right?
Well, the thing is, like they already also have Spyro with a potential bonus.
So I just want to double check Code Vein here. This was what type
It's
of game is
Dark
this?
Souls.
Okay, I'll take your word. Yeah, this is basically Dark Souls. Okay.
Also, our only run.
Back me up, Red, if you're still here.
Yeah. Anime Dark Souls. There we go.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, and yeah, Keto. Where we're streaming, you're streaming to a. I can't remember, Dan. You changed it up, and I haven't worked from it there. Where are we streaming to again?
The RTMP
Twitch.
Yeah, it's
or private
it's to
server.
the RTMP server.
For NASA, you're going to stream to Twitch.
You don't stream to your own Twitch.
No, you're not streaming to your own
Yes,
Twitch.
that's what Keto was asking. You're streaming to an RTMP server, and we stream
No,
through Twitch.
you're streaming to Twitch, though. You're just not streaming to your own Twitch with the way we're setting up NASA this year.
We'll figure it out. It's
Okay.
not your own Twitch.
Yeah, but the thing is,
That's 100% correct.
Yeah.
You're not streaming to your Twitch.
yeah, we'll get more info on that.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, yeah, Last Guardian, because that's 340. Yeah. Let's pull this up.
I mean, I'm just a sucker for any game by the Fumito Ueda.
I mean, that's fair. It's just, is this going to be an entertaining speed run? I'm not really sure.
It's not. Yeah, it doesn't have like the big like. It's not like Shadow of the Colossus where it's kind of like, got a bit like every like thing, like level I guess has like huge tricks, but
It's also almost 4 hours.
yeah.
That's basically where it comes down to. I think this is something we should look at for now. I just want to finish going through the rest, but I think this might have to be a cut just off time alone, due to the fact that we already have Spyro from them, and it's just like we don't. Yeah, I don't know. It just might be a little too slow. Like it's definitely interesting, and I do enjoy these types of games. Yeah, Sable's still in the chat. I guess I just want to hear their opinion on like the run in general, because we can kind of stream through it, but obviously we don't have time to watch a 3-hour and 40-minute run right now. I'm just worried when it comes down to, like, it definitely looks interesting. I'm just worried about 4 hours of the run.
The question I have is that if I've watched someone play through the game, is it going to actually be entertaining to watch the speedrun? That's basically the question I have. Right? So are there tricks? Is there new stuff to it? You know what I mean? Like, if you want to advocate for your game, I'm open to the idea, but I've seen a playthrough. So if it's just fast playthrough, like, it might have to be a casualty of time cuts.
Yeah. Okay. So it's basically story-based run with movement tech, not necessarily glitches. Yeah, I think in this case we might have to, like, I think it could be an interesting, like, story-wise run, but I just think due to the fact that we still have almost 20 hours to cut, this might have to be a casualty in this respect.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, maybe if we end up having bonus time, it could get back in.
Yeah, well, and this is one of the things when we're going to talk to, like, for some of the long runs, is like we were thinking of doing possibly like weeknight exhibitions and stuff like that. So maybe some of these longer cut runs we might allow people to showcase during those times because hey, we're not using the weeknights, so we might just pull in some extra speed runs on those weeknights. So we'll reach out to some people, but I think for now, for the main 2 weekends, we'll probably cut it.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So maybe we should highlight runs a different color for ones that we would want to consider for bonus content.
I think we can come back to that just because there's a lot of stuff that we've already cut, and I don't really want to have to go through the whole list
Oh yeah,
again.
that's fair actually. That's a good point.
Okay, let's keep going down. Toe Jam and Earl. It's only 20 minutes, but I just want to like check the run.
Some
I mean-
funky tunes in that game.
Yeah, it's a good game.
It's the new one, right? Yeah, Back in the Groove.
Yeah.
Yeah, this looks pretty hip.
As far as I'm under the impression that if you like Toe Jam and Earl, that game is
Okay, another long run we have here. The Jet Set Radio Future, 100% no post game. This is the runners only run, which I know is always a consideration.
Have we had a marathon, like any marathon that hasn't had Jet Set in it?
The big
No.
difference is, as a note, is it's a completely different runner. It's not the normal JSRF crew that submitted this run, to my knowledge. At least I'm not familiar with the runner. So that is kind of it may be a different, style of run in this respect.
well, what's the commentary sound like to you?
I'd have to unmute it.
Go for it.
I mean, it's hard to figure out
Well,
commentary.
yeah,
based
this
on-
is like their own
Yeah,
run. They're not
yeah,
really.
it's not.
I know.
I don't
I
know
would
if there
keep
is
it
commentary.
for now,
Commentary very
only
different.
because the fact that it is their only run.
Well, Dale
obvious-
Dale is saying that it would be very different commentary.
Okay. Because that's the thing. Like when you say commentary will be very different in a good way.
He said the runner's not graveyard, so
Yeah, but that's why I'm just wondering. It depends on your perspective. Okay, so I'll say that it's better. Okay, that's a good keep for a charity marathon. I'll say not a shitposting crew is probably what we want. So, speaking of the shitposting crew, one thing I want to jump down to here is a Two Worlds runs.
I was gonna say, cut Fable, keep the
Yeah.
race.
I was thinking the same thing.
Me too.
Nah, we're not saying it's mean. We're saying the prime Two Worlds is the prime shit poster. He's if you're looking for top level shit posting,
Yo,
he's the person to look at.
Look at that beautiful quality right there.
Isn't this
in
from
this
last
VOD.
NASA?
Yeah,
Yes.
look at it. It's so great. It's so fantastic.
What's the resolution on that
we
pod?
answered Duraludon in chat.
I don't.
No,
What'd you say? Sorry.
but you probably should.
What?
Yeah,
It-
yeah. Well, they're saying Just Dance won't have any commentary. Yeah, if you can arrange commentary in some way, then that would be good. But yeah, if you can't do commentary, that's not.
Yeah, I think ideally it's like if you know somebody who even knows it, because like the thing is, to be fair, Just Dance like is dancing along to songs. I realize their whole VOD's probably gonna get muted during that whole run, but at the same time, like that's fine.
Yeah.
We'll just make sure to local record. So what it comes down to, I think, is that if you know somebody who can commentate like anything about it or even talk between races or something, that might be useful.
Even if you have someone who's in there like bullshitting and like making stuff up about the game as you play it, like that's fine too.
Yeah, so I think we cut Fable, keeping into the Matrix, just because Fable was in last year and it's not a race, and I think a Big Law Two Worlds race is going to be very entertaining.
So now we
Yes.
start to get into like actual rough territory for
Yeah.
cut.
An Asper made a comment above saying that if we wanted to, we could cut his runs. That would save 2.5 hours. Even if we wanted to only cut one.
I mean, I think we were talking about cutting one.
Yeah, I think realistically we should keep one of the three. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
Because all three have
Yeah.
been run before. I think keeping
There
one of the
is-
three is fine.
I think
Keep
that
Metal
there's an
Slug.
argument to be made for making sure that our community is represented. Like
Oh, no.
people that are
I-
consistently
I-
part of the community.
I
are able-
agree.
Keep Metal Slug.
There's a lot of people here who really want Metal Slug. I wouldn't be against that purely for the fact all three of these games have
If
been
we
run.
can.
Metal Slug is the most notable of the three.
I am actually willing to say that Neglaria's argument is very compelling because it's the shortest run, and it means that my goal of making sure
What
that
fucking argument did I make? I just said keep Metal Slug.
I know, but it makes sense to me right now in
We
this
want
current
Metal
context.
Slug.
Metal
Keep
Slug
Metal
is the
Slug.
shortest run, so
Metal
we can
Slug's
still
really
get an
good.
Asper.
Cut the other games already. Jeez.
Yeah.
it's
let's get
done.
past
It's
this.
done.
Based Metal Slug.
There we go.
Okay.
Okay.
What else do we have here?
You could probably bump Final Fantasy VII R down to 9 or 8:30.
Definitely not gonna do that.
I'm gonna have a lot of time to practice. He says.
like here's the thing, right? I'd rather end at like an hour 5 and keep it at 10 hours than end at like cut it down and find out that it doesn't actually
it-
get cut down.
Hold on. I'm proposing another cut here. I propose
you
we
cut?
cut Pokemon Puzzle Challenge.
Where's FFR?
Yeah, mainly because like it has been
Yeah.
in previous events, and
So
at this point, like we
here's-
gotta cut stuff.
Here's the thing.
That's why.
If I had to choose between cutting Pokemon Puzzle Challenge and Tetris Sphere, I think I'd rather
Oh,
cut
yeah.
Tetris Sphere.
You're right.
When
I
we
would
were
too.
watching the runs, I think a lot of people found like were much more interested in the showcase of Pokemon Puzzle Challenge as opposed
That's
to
fair.
Tetris Sphere, which seemed like it would be a little like it would be fun to watch for like 30 minutes, but then after like the next
Oh.
hour after that might get a
Yeah.
little slow.
Plus,
Um,
again, you have to think about it's a charity event, so Pokemon is definitely going to be the more popular crowd draw between Tetris and Pokemon.
All right,
We have to
screw it.
choose.
Cut Tetris Sphere.
Yeah,
Okay, that's another we're slowly cutting down here.
we're getting there. We're getting there.
Let's see what we're at.
All right, cut all my runs. Cut them out.
You don't have any.
We're down to
All right,
a-
we
That's
did
the
it.
joke.
we're down to
We did it.
113 hours.
All right, that's not bad. It's not bad. We're getting there.
Okay, top down again. By the way, I don't think we've gone through Bath Salted Peanuts 2 runs. We should look at these.
Not really. I was gonna bring that up before, but I didn't. So I kind of want to know what that hot tin whatever.
Okay, this is Hot Tin, whatever.
Before we just blindly accept a game none of us have ever seen.
Yeah.
Okay,
So-
I mean,
This looks like
that's definitely a cat in a fedora.
yeah, it's looks like an adventure game.
It does.
I don't think we have too many of these. That's why I'm not against things like this.
I'm a fan. I want it in.
Fast decision.
Also,
Will
it's
there
only
be
20
backups?
minutes.
In the event someone doesn't make it on time.
Yeah, so I
Once
think
we figure out cuts, we'll get to that.
yeah, I think that we probably won't do today. Backups we might put it together in the next week or two. Okay, here we go. Onimusha.
I mean, realistically, people not making it to their online event is really stupid, personally,
Yeah.
because that's not a problem with on-site events, but it somehow is for online events when you don't even have to leave your house.
Oh, I mean, Onimusha is a banger.
It looks like
Dark Souls?
no, I was gonna say Resident Evil.
Oh. Oh, okay.
Yeah, tank controls and
It's-
everything. Yeah.
It's like Resident Evil meets Devil May Cry 2.
Yeah, basically.
Interesting. Yeah, this seems interesting. Okay. Okay, so now we have our tough choices.
Indeed.
Should we cut one of the Catherines? Or Life is Strange or
Well,
something?
at this point, we're talking about only cutting.
Go back to Just Dance. Go back to Just Dance. Let's just take the shorter Just Dance.
This is the shorter Just Dance. We've already
We
selected.
did do that?
Yes.
Okay.
The longer
Well,
one was
shit.
310. Okay. I just want to like slowly go through again. Okay, you know what? Actually, here's what I'm gonna do. I want to do this.
Are you gonna take a moment to make it all?
If you're gonna sort by length, you shouldn't include the top one unless you're. You should start on like the row 2.
Yukin says that it includes hetero.
Oh.
Okay.
What?
So here we go. So here's our long to short. When we're just looking at kind of what we have in terms of our longest runs, and then kind of just going down from there.
So 10R or 7R, I mean.
7R, which we've determined likely will be shorter than 10 hours, so we can kind of keep that into mind. Lightning Returns, I'm perfectly fine with keeping. The multi-runs, I'm fine with.
I mean, Lightning Returns is that person's only run.
Yeah.
And honestly, it is kind of interesting to me.
Yeah, Skylanders.
Final Fantasy 14 would be my first Final Fantasy cut.
Yeah,
I agree.
This runs
Mostly
into
because
the.
I'm pretty sure it's the same run that's being done this weekend.
Is it?
I'm going to check the schedule,
check it.
but I
By
think
the way, we have 96 games in currently.
96?
that's
You
pretty
got
good.
it? Either as a bid war, which counted as one, or as a I didn't count any of the bonus games in blue.
96, so that's
They're not listed in red. Yeah, 96.
That's 16 hours.
16 hours.
So
yeah.
realistically, yeah, if we cut out about 10 hours, not even. If we cut out like 5 hours, I'd be pretty happy. Yeah.
Like
so
Final Fantasy 14
so-
seems like a.
so double check. As I said,
Like the first.
I'm working on it.
yeah. If it is the same run as this weekend, I would be fine with cutting it just because the two marathons are very close together. That's another thing we could look into. Just look at that schedule, and if there's anything that's
That's what I'm working
like
on.
very similar, we can debate.
Here we go. I got the schedule.
Yeah, it basically comes down to what the category is.
What starts at 10 a.m. tomorrow. Here you go. Make sure you're here at 10 a.m. for this. But let's see. So we've got Shadowbringers.
HW New Game plus Solo Dragoon normal.
That sounds pretty similar.
Yeah, HW New Game plus Solo Dragoon normal. It does look similar. I think this might need to be a cut then because it's the same across both, and it's a really long run. Same as
Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone and Cartoon Summer Resort are in both.
Yeah, that's what I want to check now. I want to see it's like, do we have other runs that are across both?
Not really.
That's pretty
Other
much
than
it.
that,
That's pretty
yeah.
much it. It's just those 3 runs. Do we want to cut them then? Well,
maybe
One of them.
maybe Harry Potter.
okay, for sure
just
we're gonna
because it's
cut
now
Final
on
Fantasy
25.
14.
Yes. And
The
Harry
section
Potter's
has
another
Pokemon
hour
Red
and
Blue,
a half.
So I'd feel comfortable cutting Philosopher's Stone in that case, yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's an hour and a half. Cartoon Summer Resort, I mean, it's 15 minutes.
Right.
Yeah, I do feel bad cutting a runner's only run, but I think we're hitting the point where it's like we've seen Final Fantasy 14 a couple times. It is being shown at a marathon 2 weeks before.
Right.
This can be one of those ones where if we are looking at potentially a weeknight showcase, this could be a re-showcase, but just not during when we need to make cuts.
Yeah.
Nobody said that cutting games to make a schedule was easy or
Definitely
fun.
not. So Conception also has the Pokemon Red Blue. So yeah, I think we cut Philosopher's Stone.
Yeah,
I would also cut Cartoon Summer
I was
Resort.
about
It
to
looks-
say that.
Yeah, it doesn't look great. It looks like it's like worse than one of the Cartoon Network Flash games while still being a Cartoon Network Flash game.
Okay, so what are we down to now? 108
We just limited
hours.
it to 2 games.
So I
it's
think-
back to 94 games total.
Yeah. So we just submitted, so now we're down to 94 games. So like I think honestly, so if we're at 108 and a half hours, let me just calculate. So we said 16.
Can we cut? I know that there's a big contention, but can we cut Dynasty Warriors 5?
And give up on our.
I mean, there was a lot of
The
There was-
runner has like
there was
3
some-
other runs. They're shorter, but
we were kind of
Like-
selling out for that, to be fair.
I know, but
So currently with our estimates, we can basically, if we start at 10 a.m. on Friday
Mhm.
and end at midnight on Sunday with 10-minute estimates, we will be good.
Sounds
Okay.
good.
That's without cutting anything.
And that's with the tech panel not being accounted
That's
for
with
in
the
this
tech
time,
panel
right?
not being in there, yes.
Right, and then we can add other bonus stuff for weeknights once we, yeah. Okay.
Now here's what I'm
And
gonna
then
do.
something like, for example, Harry Potter might be like a bonus like a weeknight type of bonus content thing, or something, right? Or some of the games that were harder for us to cut, for example.
I'm gonna start deleting rows of runs, and we can kind of look at what our final games list
Yeah.
looks like.
Like Final Fantasy 14 would probably be like a good one to have as like a bonus or slash backup, right?
I'm a peace out.
Okay, see ya.
Apparently, my phone just searched for something for some reason.
What did it search for?
I don't know. I don't know where it is. I think it's on the
How
ground.
to kill my user.
It searched for, what did it hear? Let me see what it heard. One to have is like a bonus or the flash back up right is what it heard. And the first result is a Google Books result. And the title of it is The Porno Zombies. Wholesome.
Nice.
The second result is something to do with Joan Jett. Isn't the internet wonderful? What about Grizz?
Okay, so this is what we have currently. I just want to look through. So this is what we have as kind of a potential, like final showcase.
I just realized something.
What is
Mhm.
that? Did you forget something else? That means we need to do another 10 hours of cuts.
No, we don't need necessarily 10 hours of cuts, but we're gonna need about. We need intermission time.
Like that's
Yeah.
basically what the setup time is. We're talking about 10 minutes of
Of
setup
intermission
time per
between
run,
every-
which you could use as intermission. I don't
You-
think we
at
need more than 10
SEM,
minutes.
No, at SEM, we ran out our 10-minute intermissions unless we were behind every time.
Yeah, I know but those intermissions have nothing going on in there. We have intermissions that hosts are going to read off donations and interact.
And you think that'll
everything.
take longer than 10 minutes?
I
don't think
think
so.
it could potentially need another 5-minute buffer.
For every
Hmm.
single run?
Yeah,
No, I think that's too.
I think that's too much.
because you have to realize, like, we're gonna be having people talking, interacting, playing videos, and everything else.
Yeah,
For
I think you're overestimating how much time we'll need.
Yeah. Like that. So for the record, the setup time, if it's set up, if Ben sets up speed control and everything, and we stream everything exactly the way that we did it for SCM, a literal monkey could set anyone up on that system in like, I don't know, 5 minutes, guaranteed, right?
Yeah, I think like between reading donations during the run, playing videos during the intermissions, I think we'll be fine with 10 minutes.
Well, we're not reading donations during any of the runs.
Well, we could, if people are fine with it.
Oh,
Yeah,
we could, but that was one of the things that was specifically asked of us not to do.
Yeah, that's
when
fair.
Yeah.
people were bringing it up back at our round table.
yeah,
That's
and
true.
I know that I mean I know that I can say that Morale specifically likes that idea
Yeah. Well, either way, like, or if
as
somebody asks that they want it, like, we can do it. But either way, like, I really don't think it's going to take. Like,
Well, we
as
also have
much
to
as
think
you
about any of the videos that we're going to be showing for Save the Children.
And-
like, there's going to be
Mm.
demo reels that are playing
Yeah.
during that time. Maybe they're like 5 minutes. And
They're
then if you have, let's think worst case scenario, we've got like 20 donations to read off that are like, 5 to 6 sentences each about some shit.
Like,
Is
that's
that going
10
to fit
minutes.
into 5 minutes?
Absolutely.
Basically,
Well, 5 minutes after the video.
I can read a single donation of 5 sentences in 15 seconds. Like, that's if you have
I
somebody
said
who's reading.
30 that each have 5 sentences.
Yes, and I'm saying I could read a single, like, realistically, I think in worst case you go a minute or two over for one, but I think you're thinking way too worst case here. I don't think we should add on 5 minutes to every setup time estimate to like plan for that.
for perspective. You're right. We do read donations during runs, but most of the time we are done reading donations and have basically nothing to do during intermissions. Now, granted, as you said, we don't read them during runs, and as I said, right? But like, I just don't think that it's going to be that significant. Like in my experience with SCM, at least,
And here's the
maybe
thing.
it'll be different. But
This,
mean-
this could be another thing where it's just like if we decide we want to add on a few extra, like a little extra time, it seems like we're gonna lose a bit of time off runs anyway. We're probably gonna have a couple people who are gonna drop. That's another thing that we don't take into account.
every estimate, how much do we need to cut?
We would need, if we added on 5 minutes to every estimate, we would need to cut another 8 hours of runs. Like I can't, like, I really don't want to go through and cut another 8 hours of runs. What I'd rather do is this. Like, I would rather run a little late each weekend, or ask a longer run to be put on a weekday. Like, if a certain runner is fine with like doing a 4-hour run on a weekday, then cut 8 more hours of runs right now. Plus, as I said, as we've seen in the past, which is always the case, we're gonna have runners drop. We're gonna have runners no show, and I think if it comes to that, and we hit near the end, and we're like, oh, we definitely need 15 minutes. We need to cut 8 hours. If we haven't had enough runners drop, we can ask people if they want to move to a weekday. Like, if we want to move a Dark Souls to a weekday, I don't know if we want to do that, but it's like that's. I'm just saying based on the Two Reds comment, but the thing is I'm just saying, like, I think for now, I think we're fine where we are.
Yeah.
I just think it's weird that we're like looking for host volunteers and then their job is going to be around for 5 minutes
That's what I'm saying.
between intermissions, and then
Yeah.
that's it.
Like, I'm partially thinking that the idea of never reading donations during runs is kind of silly. I was under the impression that it was just going to be a lot, like, it wasn't going to be like every 5 minutes. Like,
Well, here's the thing, right? I think it can be per runner. And also, as I said, like, regardless, I don't think this is necessarily a discussion we need to have right this second. This sounds like something we're
No.
going to need to discuss further and kind of nail down exactly how we're going to do the logistics behind it all. And we have about a month to figure that out. So I think for now, I'm kind of happy where this is. And I think if we need to make slight changes, like as in moving a runner to a weekday, figuring out certain things, we can figure it out, and people
Well,
here
we-
can generally be accommodating enough that we'll be able to make it work.
so
In
you're
my
saying call
experience.
this the game list, basically?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know if anyone else would prefer me to cut another 8 hours of runs. I would prefer not to. I just think having this, and if we need to move a run or cut one single run later, I would rather do that than overcut right now. Because right now we're at a point where with 10-minute setup times, we are basically at this goal that we wanted to shoot for.
I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
thought
what we
you
could
said-
do is buffer each end of each weekend with 2 hours.
Yeah.
What do you mean
That
by
would
that?
make me
As in,
feel
like,
a lot better.
oh, like just give.
So instead of starting at noon, we start at 10, and then
Yeah.
instead of ending at midnight, we end at 2, and yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can definitely make it work. As the schedule, I'll put together probably over the next week, and we can discuss what we want to do, exactly with this. But I think right now this is kind of our games list. I will put this into a nicer look. I'll probably go to the speedrun.com, honestly. They have their phase 0, phase 1 or whatever, and just like phase 1 all the runs that we've accepted. And like, cause this I might even just share the link to, and just say it's like, or I'll make a new drive and just say like, this is our final game list, and just share that. That might be easier. Either way, I'm hoping sometime tomorrow I'll be able to get this list into a nice looking doc and get it out to everyone. So yeah, I think that's pretty much everything for anyone who showed up today. Thanks very much. It's been a little while. It's been about 3.5 hours, or yeah, 3.5 hours. We started at 8. So yeah,
Yep.
that's awesome.
You gotta make sure to plug ARPGME, bro.
Of course, that's this weekend. Check out our channel. We're going to have ARPG Me. We have a lot of really cool runs going on. I'll pull this up right here. If I zoom in a little, you can look at all the runs we got here.
Yo, there's a lot of really good runs, and I'm off all
Yeah.
weekend, so I'm really excited.
We've got Sekiro, we've got Dark Souls, we've got Bloodborne. Skylanders was also here too. We didn't catch
Parasite
that.
Eve. Like, there's a lot
Yeah,
of
we
really
did.
good stuff. Odin Sphere.
Odin Sphere,
got
Nier
Bayonetta.
Automata E ending.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
How
We've
do you
got
say that?
more Nier Automata. We've got Otogi.
Dude, Alf?
We've got Alf.
How?
You can never go wrong with
We do.
Alf.
Yes.
We've got Wise. Wise I. Wanderers
Wise.
from Wise.
I don't give a shit. It's a great game. Like,
Yeah, I think this will be pretty cool. I'm
Yeah.
looking
10 a.m.
forward
tomorrow.
to-
Eastern.
Oh, okay. Nice. Good to clarify. Oh yeah, this is any percent. The other one was all villains. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah. Well, thanks everyone for showing up. And
Yeah,
I
thanks
think
for watching, y'all.
I think at this point we're just gonna. I may just put on some music. Let
You
you
should
relax.
play, like, a 5-minute ad.
How do you even play
Yeah.
5-minute ads? The page just gives me the option for 60
You need to, like,
seconds.
Click the edit options, and then you get the options.
How
to
about
have...
you log into the page
Oh
and do
my
it
god.
yourself?
Okay, I will
What
actually.
you do is you talk to your Amazon Alexa and you say, Twitch, play an ad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alexa, play ads.
NASA Marathon.
Play ad on twitch.tv/NASA Marathon.
/subscribe.
Okay. Playing ad on twitch.tv/NASA Marathon. Wow.
Okay, I'm gonna deafen myself from this call and play some nice chill music while you get some ads in the background. Thanks for watching, everyone. Hope you're happy with the games list. If you're not, please forward all complaints to Dark Aries.
Alexa, pay my taxes.
Yeah.
Just Dark Aries, nobody else. And
No, none of us.
Yeah.
And we hope you enjoy ARPG Me this weekend and enjoy NASA 2020 in about a month.
Yeah.
See
Bye-bye,
y'all. Bye.
Bye.